Kennar Eye Care, the Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union, Lane Lord Basketball Camp, Lindbergh Pharmacy, Pet Care and Surgery Center, Pittsburg State University, and Ryan Insurance.
Now let's go live courtside for tonight's pregame show on ESPN 100.7.
Good evening, and we welcome you to Sports Headquarters, ESPN 100.7 with Caleb Wood now. Shelby White back at our KSHQ studio. Cam Molina with you. Following a sixth-place finish at the Border Classic hosted by the Dragons, Chris Cron, head girls basketball coach of Pittsburg High School, ultimately dropping to 4-8 on the season. Look for a bounce-back win tonight against the Soto club that split with this Dragons team last season. And according to Chris Krotz, this team is in a state of limbo per se, looking for both that offensive production and defensive efficiency. And he hopes to see that from his girls tonight against Ryan Roby's very talented but young Wildcat squad. We'll hear more about these teams from their coaches, Chris Krotz for the Dragons and Ryan Roby for the Wildcats. We'll be back in 30 seconds with an interview with Coach Chris Krotz here on your Sports Headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Does your current checking account pay you up to $15 per month? With Common Sense Checking at University Bank, you can earn up to $15 per.
What do you want from your bank?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? There is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union, with locations in Pittsburg, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville, serving area residents since 1949.
Consolation game against the Blue Valley Northwest Huskies in the Border Classic. Before we get into that, what were your opinions as a whole during the Border Classic in terms of your girls' play?
I thought definitely the first 2 days we played really well. Thought we played really well against Tulsa East Central, and thought we played pretty good first half against Wichita West, but came back second half and had a really good half. And I don't know if it was, I think, a combination of a lot of things, but that third game against Blue Valley Northwest, probably not our best effort overall, but there were kind of a lot of, it was kind of a perfect storm of maybe some negative things that kind of didn't help us out very much in that game.
Well, Coach, let's go to Tulsa East Central to begin with. You girls lead throughout most of the game, but then heading into the third, fourth quarter, Tulsa East Central takes the lead. Your girls battle back valiantly, but ultimately fall by 3 points. Can you just touch on the emphasis of making sure you finish out games start to finish, and how you're able to instill that in your girls or attempt to teach them that?
Yeah, we're still trying to get there. So trying to still figure out a way to play, 32 full minutes of focused, energetic basketball. I felt like we were really close in that Tulsa game. I felt like there was a little time there in the third quarter we didn't rebound the ball real well, and it really hurt us. And there's a little spell there where they hit some outside shots around that same time when we weren't rebounding the ball, and that to me was the difference in the game. I mean, we won the first quarter, we won the second quarter, we were tied in the fourth quarter. We lost that third quarter by 9 points, and that was the difference.
Well, Coach, in contrast, against Wichita West, it was almost a different story. Wichita West did a fantastic job of keeping pace with you guys all the way until mid-third quarter, and then your girls just took over, something clipped. We saw the latent ability of Hayden Matlock come to fruition, and she did a great job coming off the bench with 4 fouls and giving you plus minutes where she was able to score about 6 points and garner about 3 boards in a good 4 or 5 minute span, and that seemed to be the catalyst for you girls in the third quarter. Can you touch on the ability in that game to close out the contest?
Yeah, I thought that we came out of the second half ready to play, and I saw an intensity and a focus that I haven't always seen coming out in the second half from the girls, and they really got after it. They played really good defense, got into some good offense because of our defense, got some easy baskets, got some momentum going our way. And, yeah, I'm the same way. I felt like Caden Matlock was kind of the catalyst of all that.
Cam Molina currently talking with Pittsburg High School girls basketball coach Chris Krotz. Well, Coach, let's get into the nitty-gritty about that Northwest game. I know you mentioned it, just the effort wasn't there, and I think I would be remiss if I didn't say that's a 6A club that has a lot of talent and a very fast team, but one area that seemed to really draw attention to me, at least, was the cadence of the offense on both sides. It just seemed that Northwest had the ability to keep up with your girls, and it seems that throughout the season you tend to run with more of a fast cadence, fast pace, and when another team matches that, it just seems the half-court sets aren't able to work. How are you able to talk to your girls and teach your girls if our half-court offense is not working and the full-court offense isn't working in terms of the fast break? How are you able to find a source of offense?
Yeah, and that's something we've been working on here in practice. And like I said, I felt like that game was kind of the perfect storm of a lot of things. We didn't get to practice all week because of the weather. So not getting to practice all week and then playing 3 games in a row, I felt like we didn't quite have our legs underneath us. Dabrant played a really tough man. We haven't seen a real tough man-to-man like that in a while. I mean, there was just a lot of things going on, and we really need to get in and get some practice. And that's what's been nice about this week, that we don't play till Friday. So we've had some time to address those concerns that you just spoke about. Like our half-court offense. We've had some time to really work on that, run some sets, get some familiarity back, know where to be in the right spots. A lot of that is just being in the right spots and being confident with what you're doing and not second-guessing it. Because like I said, we haven't played a lot of teams that have just got up into us and played man-to-man a lot. We've seen a lot of zone this year.
Well, Coach, and a preamble, she's a talented player, very young, and she's a huge bright spot on your team. And to go into, we've talked about her a lot this year, Madden Petty, what a fantastic talent she is for you, leads the team in scoring, 3-point percentage. But it seems that she plays more and teams are able to scout her better. Her tendencies are really starting to shine, and that being she attacks the baseline often, tries to go with that 1-2 step just a bit too often, and teams are really starting to pick up on that. How do you try to teach her to break away from those tendencies and some of those crutches and find other ways and avenues of scoring?
Well, some of that falls on me too as a coach. I've got to give her. We've talked about that as some sets and stuff to get her some looks, and we've got some of those out of the zone, and we're just, like I said, we've worked this week on getting some better sets for her out of the man. And also, just like I said, coaching her. I sometimes as a freshman, you don't even realize what you're doing wrong. It's just like the ball's not falling. She probably didn't even realize that she goes to that Euro step so much. And so we've talked to her and coached her about, pulling up earlier, taking a jump shot, looking to dish that ball off, and, just being a freshman. When you're a freshman and you're the team's main source of offense, that's a lot of pressure, and that's a short learning curve that she has. And she's done a great job, and she's growing every moment. I mean, every time she takes a step back, I feel like she gets back in the gym, she works harder, she gets better, and she improves. And, all that adversity that she had, here and there in the last couple of games, I think is only going to serve her to become a better ball player. She's going to learn to, extend her game, and she's going to be all the better for it.
That's high praise, Coach. And again, she's a freshman, and I think media members really blow it out of proportion, and I try not to, and she's a great, great talent, and she's going to continue to improve. Last question, Coach Roby has done a great job with his girls at DeSoto. You get a preview of a potential sub-state opponent. Talk about your upcoming matchup.
Well, it was kind of nice to see that from Blue Valley Northwest, last Saturday, because that's kind of what we're probably going to see from them. A good, tough man-to-man defense. They will mix in some other defenses, but they definitely, whether they're in zone or they're in man, they're going to get up into you and play you tough. And so that was a good preview for us. We've been working on trying to play through that pressure, to see through your man to the next level and make good decisions. And like I said, hopefully we can execute some of the stuff we've been doing in practice.
Once again, that was Chris Krotz, head girls basketball coach of the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons. We are back with more Purple Dragon action here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7, in just a moment.
now accepting new clients. At the Pet Care and Surgery Center, Dr. James Clark believes all of our pets deserve kind, humane, and loving treatment. From a simple checkup or rabies vaccination to performing major surgery. Plus, Dr. Clark has boarding, grooming, nutrition, and wellness checkups. Dr. James Clark can provide that loving member of your family with the treatment they deserve. Call 620-308-6454 to set up an appointment or simply visit petcarecenter.org. Pet Care and Surgery, making a difference.
Let's go back live courtside.
Hello, and we welcome you back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. Cameron Molina joined by Ryan Roby, head girls basketball coach of the Soto High School Wildcats. Coach, 9-3 this season, but a fairly youthful team. Can you just touch on the dynamics of how young your team is and how everyone's been able to gel together? And then have there been any obstacles for you as a head coach trying to get all these young girls to work together and teach them?
We're an incredibly young team. We came into the season with the 3 seniors on the roster, and unfortunately, one of them really was. We only had one that had significant varsity time logged. And, she unfortunately 4 games in. Tore her ACL in a pregame contest, so she's elected to have surgery, and so we became very young very quick. We've got 6 or 7 sophomores on the varsity roster, and generally speaking, we start 3. And so it's been a change of style of play, and getting a bunch of young kids to figure out how to play at the varsity level has been our biggest challenge. Consistency, I would say, has been our issue.
Well, and you touch on that senior that tore her ACL. You mentioned to me that she was your leading scorer and leading rebounder. And for a lot of young teams, they consider that a good time to go ahead and fold, call it a season. We can come back next year and gain some experience. But you girls aren't doing that. 9-3 on the year. You guys took second at the Tonganoxie tournament, falling to a talented Jefferson West team. Can you just touch on, one, your girls' resiliency and not just backing down from a challenge, but accepting a lot of larger roles than what they would have had this season? And in addition, can you touch on what you've done personally to adapt to the change of scenery?
Yeah, I mean, we credit to the kids that they've kind of risen to the challenge. They put in a lot of time and effort, and we knew coming into the season that we were going to have to rely on some sophomores and juniors to kind of step up, not only from a minute standpoint, but definitely from a leadership standpoint. And they've done a phenomenal job of accepting that role and growing in that role. We talk about a lot in our program about leadership, and it's easier said than done. And so we're continuing to work through that process, and we've kind of had to expedite that process for a lot of kids. In the post, Mariah was a post player for us, and so filling that void of 17 points, 12 rebounds. We just kind of stress to our kids it's not about somebody doing her job; it's about everybody doing their job just a little bit better. And so kids like Emily Furr, and we have a freshman, Caitlin Ostronic, who stepped up in the post, and then we've asked kids like Ellie Bream, who's a sophomore, who's really more of a good-sized wing. We've asked her to step into that role and guard posts and kind of put her in positions that weren't expected of her at the onset of the season. So really proud about how our team has responded to what could have been, like you said, a devastating piece of adversity for a team to kind of shut down. They've risen to the challenge for sure.
Cam Molina currently talking with Ryan Roby, head girls basketball coach of the DeSoto Wildcats. Well, Coach, you talk about all of your young players embracing these roles that maybe would not be available to them or would not have been bestowed upon them until a year or two down the road. But you and I spoke earlier prior to the interview. Mackenzie Shoup, your leading scorer right now, she's done a fantastic job of assuming that scoring role. Can you touch on one of the younger players who has assumed more of a leadership role in trying to guide a lot of these young greenhorns and trying to pull out some of these victories?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as you said, Mackenzie, and even when we had Mariah, Mackenzie came on last year as a freshman and was a major player for us down the stretch, and arguably she was the best player on the floor for us in the state tournament. We didn't fare too well, but she stepped up. Did a phenomenal job for us in sub-state and as well as in the state tournament. From a leadership standpoint, Emily Furr, like I spoke on earlier, she is a highly motivated kid. She works her tail off, and she expects that of her teammates. And she's such a positive, just kid that just brings great energy into the gym every time she steps in it. So, and the kids all respond to her very well. So, Mackenzie's definitely doing it on the floor side, scoring and giving the statistical pieces, but kids like Lamaya Riggs and Emily Furr are kind of bringing some of those intangibles to our program that sometimes don't show up in the stats. So they've been a huge part of our success as well.
Coach, potential sub-state preview in front of you. You travel to Pittsburg, Kansas, take on the Dragons. First-year head coach Chris Krotz, 4-8 on the year, but his girls are always stingy and willing to fight. Can you touch on them and also touch on the advantage of seeing a potential sub-state team early this year?
Yeah, I've done my research on Pittsburgh as any coach does, and heard nothing but positives about the new coach and the system of play and how hard he gets his kids to play. And so we know going in, records are simply numbers, and we know that they're an extremely young team as well. So with the young team comes sometimes that inconsistency and a little bit of the growing pain. So by no stretch are we overlooking them based on a record. And we know that they got some kids that can flat out play with, Casper back, and she provides some senior leadership for them, and they got the freshman kid that's been able to really kind of catch a lot of people's attention with her ability to score. So we'll definitely have our hands full for sure, and it's definitely nice to get a look at somebody in your sub-state, and you never know how that may pay dividends down the road by gaining that experience. It paid off for us last year. Playing Pittsburgh, they came to our place and beat us in a tough game, and we kind of learned some lessons, and we're able to kind of exact some revenge last year from that and punch our ticket to state. So that was a huge advantage for us to see them before we had to see them again.
Again, that was Ryan Roby, head girls basketball coach of the DeSoto Wildcats. We are back with starting lineups and information pertaining to tonight's matchup here in just a few moments on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Customer first, safety always. It's not just a tagline, it's the Watco way. By focusing on safety, each and every day they build a future by protecting their customers, team members, community, and the environment. When Watco moves commodities by rail, river, and road, at home or across North America and Australia, their priority is to ensure that they deliver their loads safely and on time. Watco wishes all area teams a safe and successful season.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
We have a crock pot of 4 screen shirts in the stands, as well as purple-cladded sweatshirt fans, as the Pittsburgh High School Purple Dragons seek to defend home court against the visiting DeSoto Wildcats. Cam Molina, Caleb Woodnow, Shelby White with you for this Friday night contest. Let's quickly get you your starting lineups before we depart for another 2 minutes, as the national anthem is coming up in about 15 ticks. For the Purple Dragons, Caden Matlock, Caitlin Kidd, Sophia Pinamati, Abby Casper, and Madden Petty. For Ryan Roby's 9-3 Wildcats, it's Mara Montgomery, Lamaya Ricks, Linnea Searles, Ellie Bream, and Mackenzie Shoup. We will bring you back more information here in about 2 minutes on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
If you are injured in an accident or on the job, it is vitally important that you hire the right attorney. Before choosing an attorney, you should make sure they have the resources to fight large corporations or insurance companies. Your attorney should have extensive trial court experience and a track record of success. The Spigarelli Law Firm, with offices in Pittsburgh and Coffeyville, has the experience, resources, and reputation to provide the quality representation your claim deserves. Fred Spigarelli has received the top rating from his peers with the Martindale-Hubbell Independent Rating System. His firm has the resources to hire the experts and physicians needed to properly present your claim. The Spigarelli Law Firm has successfully tried cases for over 40 years and taken numerous cases all the way to the Supreme Court. Call the Spigarelli Law Firm today at 877-409-7931 or visit their website at spigarelli-law.com. You can also find them fast in names and numbers. Be sure to get reliable information when you choose an attorney to represent you.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SCK Urgent Care is here for you. Let our skilled providers treat your non-life-threatening illness or injury at a fraction of the time and cost of an ER visit. Located at the corner of Centennial and Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons. Open 7 days a week for your convenience. SCK Urgent Care, where your family and time matter. Find us fast in names and numbers.
Bittner Motors is proud to announce that it is now Pittsburgh's new dealer for the Hustler line of zero-turn lawnmowers. Hustler has manufactured its trademark yellow mower for over 50 years, with each mower being built right here in the U.S. Hustler combines the innovative American spirit with a do-it-right work ethic to produce the best line of zero-turn mowers on the market. Call Mike Bittner at 620-232-1530 or stop by today at 1018 North Broadway in Pittsburgh to check out the Hustler line of zero-turn mowers. Hustler Mowers, made in America at Bittner Motors, Pittsburgh.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
And a merry welcome back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. We are inside the very vibrant confines of Pittsburgh High School as the Purple Dragons look to defend home court against the Soto Wildcats. Again, we went through the starting lineups prior to our observation of the national anthem, in which I have to add the Pittsburgh High School Encore provided a fantastic rendition of the national anthem. It was quite beautiful and harmonious. But we will go over once again the starting lineup for tonight, beginning with the Purple Dragons. Caden Matlock, Caitlin Kidd in the front court, Sophia Pitamani, who played some JV time tonight, Abby Casper, the lone senior for the Dragons, who also had a season-high 19 points against Wichita West in the Border Classic on day 2 of action, and Madden Petty, Mara Montgomery, Lamira Hicks, Linnea Searles, Ellie Bream, and Mackenzie Shoup are all lined up for Ryan Roby's Wildcats, who come into this matchup with a 9-3 record. Last time out, a tough loss to a Jefferson West club, 42-27. Jefferson West runner-ups in Class 4A D2 last season on the girls' side. But these two teams have a pre-existing history. How about last year on January 27th, right around this same time last year, a 39-34 win for the Dragons. Fast forward just shy of 2 months, the Dragons fall in a sub-state tilt 45-34 to Coach Roby and his girls. Now, for this Dragons team, the concept this year has been intensity and solid defense. Now, the intensity was definitely not there during the consolation game, the 5th place game against Blue Valley Northwest last Saturday in a 54-29 loss. If you think back about a month and a half ago against the Labette County team, which is arguably one of the best team in Class 4A D1, this team lost by 30, but made it really close going into halftime. That same intensity, that same determination and ambition to take down a better opponent was not there. So the Dragons really want to be on full tilt tonight. As for this DeSoto team, very young, make sure not to get caught in some of the traps the Dragons like to run, as Casper will eject the ball. Left wing, Petty gets a defender, left hit, go inside. Beautiful bounce past the Kid, but Kid fumbles the basketball in her hand, fumbles it, and it goes out of bounds towards the far baseline. DeSoto immediately running into a full court trap. However, the Purple Dragons will fall to the backcourt as Abby Casper will defend midcourt against Shoup, the team's leading scorer. Scoop back right wing. Ricks has it. Chest pass right wing. With it is Searles. Searles will curl to the key, picks up her dribble and travels, and it looks like she bounced off of a body of a Purple Dragon player in the post. I think it was Matlock. And now a full court press flashed by the Wildcats wearing their 4-screen attire. Madden Petty trying to go with a no-look behind the right hip bounce pass to Abby Casper. She was not ready for it. Turnover by the Dragons. For Chris Krotz and his girls, one thing they have to be cognizant of is eliminating the turnovers tonight, especially the unforced errors as the ball. It's bounced in from the far sideline by Shoup to an open Bream, who curls, hands back off the Shoup. At the point of attack is Bream. Bream ducks left block, and she travels again, this time losing her footing. Tripped up by the hardwood monster. The Dragons wearing their home opal uniforms with purple numerals in lettering, trimmed with violet. And as for this Wildcat squad, if you are familiar with the Bearcats of Missouri Northwest, they have their 4-screen uniforms with white numerals and lettering. And Abby Casper absolutely harassed in midcourt. She touched the basketball and it went backcourt. The official being criticized by Coach Krotz, saying Casper never touched it, but I think there was a fingertip from Casper as the sphere went into the backcourt. Ball is inbounded into the backcourt. Shoup will enter the front court towards the far side of the hardwood. Dribbles with her dominant right hand before delivering a beeline pass right wing. It's Ricks thinking about wheeling inside the right ring. Instead will reverse back out. Near side elbow, a handoff from Bream to a curling Searles. Searles finds a wide open left wing cutter in Ricks, but a travel. Both teams a sloppy start. A minute 15 into the contest. Zeros on the board. Matlock brings the ball above her head. Thought about cocking a bat and letting one rip all the way to Sophia Penamani, but instead it's a Petty who skips it. Casper delivers a bounce pass. Kidd squares up and scores. Caitlin Kidd from the far side block is able to face up against a late helping Bream and scores. High ball screen set by said Bream. Defended well by Casper and Kidd. Kidd comes away with the steal as Bream mishandles it. A tie-up. Ricks is able to get her mitts on the sphere. Kidd and Ricks force a jump ball, possession arrow Wildcats. Just under 6:30 left in the first. 2-0 is the score. Casper, vertical, defending Shoup, skip pass to the right block, wide open Bream, but there was a reason for it, It was a legal screen set by Searles. That is Searles' first, team's first, and the game's first. Inbound, near side baseline from Matlock. Casper has it, loses it. It will still say with the Purple Dragons as Shoup was there to defend. And she has been blanketing Casper thus far. 6:23 left in the first frame. Matlock scans, bounce pass. Casper catches it. Shoup hits the deck. Petty has it. Far side wing attacks. Far side ring goes inside the circle and is tangled up. However, it's called a held ball. I'm surprised that it was called a held ball because Ricks hit the deck. Her knees were on the floor, and her right arm was wrapped around the waist of Petty. Left side inbound of the baseline for Matlock. She finds an open Casper who was unable to convert. It was an air ball corralled by the Wildcats. Shoup, step back three, drills it. Right. Backboard inbound by Matlock, far into the court. Casper will dribble in front of the Purple Dragon fans wearing their supposed, I would say, frat boy attire as they all have khaki shorts and some nice dress shirts. Petty will wheel around the right baseline before stepping out of bounds. Turnover by the Dragons. I spoke with Coach Kratz about that in terms of breaking up some of her tendencies, being attacking that far side baseline and going with the Euro step. And Coach Kratz said, as a coach, I have to work on that with her. And a steal, great read by Kidd as she hits the deck from the far baseline, swatting the ball away from Bream. Held ball, possession arrow for DeSoto still. So the forest green cladded DeSoto Wildcats catch a break. Backcourt Ricks defended by Sophia Penamani and a turnover. Another unforced error by the Wildcats. Two travels by Searles and then a toss away. Inbound far sideline for Sophia Penamani. Penamani with her spectacles scanned. She finds an open Petty, far side wing, standing outside of the cylinder. Jab step to the right by Casper. Cocks the ball above her head. Chest pass to Petty. Left wing will attack her. Blonde hair whipping as she will reel inside. Reverse back out and is fouled on the floor. And it's called on Searles, her second and the team's second. So the first sub of the night will be Jordan Dial. So Deal will come in, I beg your pardon, it's Deal. Deal will sub in for Searles as Casper will inbound right side of the basket, far baseline. Ball tipped away by Shoup, who has played fantastic defense thus far. Casper will slap the sphere again and a foul away from the basketball. And it will be on Petty. That's Petty's first and the team's first. I think she bumped into Deal on an illegal screen. So Deal crossing the prime meridian into the front court, standing on the 10-foot line of the volleyball line. Right wing beams will scan. She finds a wide open, recently subbed in Emily Furr. Furr reverses back out. Shoup, three-pointer up, swishes it. So Shoup 2-2 from downtown thus far. 5 minutes left in the first frame. 6-2 the score. Dragons trail by 4 following 2 trifectas converted by Shoup. Foul on the floor again. We have had a very staccato style of play thus far. Extremely intermittent with 4 team fouls combined. 3 by the Wildcats as Ricks earns her first. Backcourt is Casper. Dribbles with her right hand. With her gray Nike shoes, she's standing on the scaly Purple Dragon logo at midcourt, will curl to the right circle and is fouled on her way to the basket. She had Shoup trailing, sliding over late was Deal, and it was a foul called by the backside official. No indication as to who it is on. The official towards the far side will say it's on Shoup, so that is Shoup's first. 4:45 left in the first quarter of action. Casper will set and release, and she is able to score her first point of the night. Casper, what an excellent performance against the Pioneers last Friday. Wichita West really took the contest early on, but the Dragons did a fantastic job of battling back and enforcing a strong-willed endeavor. This club trailed by nearly double digits heading into the fourth quarter as both free throws go. Far side wing three-pointer goes up by Deal and a foul on the floor, and the officials have 2 different calls. The official underneath the basket said that it was a different foul, I think, underneath the basket, and the officials on the perimeter saying that it was a foul on the closeout. It will be on Petty, her second, and a boot. Deal will go to the line shooting 3. Coach Krotz saying that the official underneath the basket made a different call. And Coach Krotz absolutely furious, apoplectic. He stomps his feet. Oh, now he's getting even more heated as Deal will attempt her second shot. That one does not go. But to go back to the Wichita West point, the Dragons trailed by 9 heading into the fourth and won 62-46 in what was a great come-from-behind effort in an explosive second half of play. Casper dropping 19, Petty with 22. 8-4 is the score. DeSoto leading currently following the confusion on the court from the officials to the anger of Coach Krotz and a turnover. Casper thought she had Sophia Penamani near side wing, and a bad pass, a misread, and a gaff. 4:22 left in the frame following both free throws converted. And Coach Krotz pulled over the official who had made a different call. That was very averse for the Dragons, and now they trail by 4. 4:20 left in the first, and every point counts. And what is seemed to believe a very tight competition. Shoup lobs it over the top of Riley Johnson, who subbed in for Madden Petty. Right wing is Shoup, her 3, misses her first of the night. Matlock tied up underneath the basket with Caitlin Ostronic, who subbed in. As Coach Krotz was talking with the official about the prior decision, that seems to be the topic at hand still. Coach Krotz not letting it go. A diving Shoup fighting for the ball with Casper. Looks like Shoup was out of bounds with the sphere first. 4:02 left in the first. Matlock to inbound. And actually it will be a foul on Shoup. Her second foul. So if there was anything to equalize the contest following some officiating that is questionable, according to Coach Krotz and his body language and some of his choice words, it's balanced now as the star player for DeSoto has a pair. Kidd will go right block, opposite end, attempt to score. No. Kidd's first missed shot of the night. In transition, galloping is Ricks, but Ricks has the ball poked out from behind as Sophia Penamani was inconspicuous, ripping it away. Abby Casper on the break, misses her shot towards the far side block. Rebound by Casper. She tries to hoist it up from 3. No good. She's 1 of 3 to start the contest. 2 points and a rebound. Right wing with it is Ricks following her turnover as she tries to maneuver inside the key. She reverses back out. Bream with it near side wing. Coach Roby barking out commands. He crosses his arms in front of his black sweatshirt. A dart right wing to an open Breams. Chest pass curling inside is Ostronic. Ostronic back to the basket, turns it over. Casper is able to force the gaff. And Coach Krotz barking out secondary. So the Dragons will set a high ball screen with Johnson. Right wing, Casper will attack. Right block, reverses it back out to Johnson, who's a pretty good three-point shooter. Instead, she will go inside and try to penetrate. Sophia Pinamani with the offensive rebound and a tangle up. Held ball between Pinamani and Ricks. A lot of fast-paced action going on right now. Some choices that Coach Krotz does not agree with. Both clubs going back and forth with 2:45 left in the first. 12 combined points. DeSoto has 8 of the 12, up 4, and a foul away from the basketball. And it's on Matlock, who had 4 personal fouls in the Wichita West game, but was the impetus for a outstanding comeback against the Pioneers. She was able to notch 6 points, 3 boards, in just about 3 to 4 minutes of total game time and 32 allotted minutes. Montgomery, 1 of 3 seniors for the Wildcats, set to inbound for the near baseline. Wide open, Ricks will go triple threat as she holds the ball left tip. Rips will interchange with Deal. Deal turns it over as Sophia Pinamani is there on help side defense towards the weak side, forcing the turnover. 2:25 left in the first. 8-4 is the score. Sophia Pinamani now left corner receiving a pass from Casper. Casper at the point will rotate a right corner 3. Riley Johnson, no, Sophia Pinamani late to a wide open rebound opportunity. I don't know what she was thinking. Riley Johnson shot the 3. Sophia Pinamani watched it glance off the left side of the rim, and it goes out of bounds. And Coach Matlock popping up and telling Kaden Matlock that she needs to be there on the opposite side to catch the rebound, and she retorts with, "That's not my side." Curling towards the far side wing, towards the left ring, is Deal before she rips it back out to Breen. Breen finds Ricks, who's wearing 2 black ankle braces. Bounce pass right block, losing it off her shoe was Deal. Out of bounds, it will remain with the DeSoto Wildcats with $1:49 left in the first, and it has been a quasi-stalemate the last 3 minutes of action. Nobody really able to score. Deal had the last 2 points. Right corner is Fur before she finds Breen. Breen, handoff, torso to Ricks, who interchanges with Deal. Right back to Ricks. 3, no. Deal tracks it down. Rebound. Second chance opportunity does not convert, and a foul on the floor by DeSoto. And I think it was Ricks trying to crash the rebound, and she bumped into Kidd instead. It will be called on Breen instead. So Breen with her first, and the Wildcats 6th. With $1:35 to go in the first quarter. Wow. I know this is a young team, but some undisciplined play early. Breen will sub out. And it'll be Ostronic to come in. Inbound by Matlock, left side of the backcourt as Casper catches it in the backcourt towards the right side, a quarter court away. Now nearing half court. Crosses over right to left. Defended very well by Ricks, who missed that wide open corner 3. And she was followed up by the offensive rebound by Deal, who's 1 of 1 from the floor. And now attacking the basket is Sophia Pinamani, and she will go to the basket and draw the foul. And Ostronic is called for the foul. Her first 17th foul committed by the Wildcats. And for Coach Roby, he has to be biting his nails because the second quarter is going to be very arduous. Sophia Pinamani misses. Caitlin Kidd, weak side, is able to gobble up the board, but she is unable, following the gobbling of the rebound, to convert. She's 1 of 3 from the floor and a rebound. 8-6 is the score. And an out of bounds by the Dragons, who will lead DeSoto basketball. Cassidy Odell set to sub in for Abby Casper with $1:11 remaining in the first quarter of play. Set to inbound is Ricks. Ricks scans, and as she prospects, lobs the ball in, left block, almost a turnover. How about a wrist pop into the front court, and it's caught by an open Montgomery. Montgomery finds Ricks. Ricks interchanges with Deal. Deal will attack left circle. Ball trying to go to the left block on a post entry. Ostronic catches at the crown of the arc. Rotate left wing. Montgomery swings it, and attacking inside towards the right circle is Ricks, and a foul on Cassidy Odell, who had a good showing in the JV game. Odell with her first, the team's 4th with 47 seconds to go. It is 8-6. Dragons up by, or rather Dragons trailing by 2. Sophia Pinamani able to convert an and 1. rather to hit a lay-in and go to the free throw line, but misses the and one. As I am at a loss for words, I apologize. Matlock is able to draw a foul, and Ostrada commits her second following an illegal screen. 41 seconds left in the corner. A 2-point deficit for the Dragons at home. In the backcourt, Johnson is able to rip one into the backcourt, even further away from her, towards the east end of the court, where an open Sophia Penamani was. Penamani gives it back to Johnson, an offensive foul by the Dragons, this time on Matlock. That's her second and the team's fifth. So Matlock back, and another jeopardizing situation that could threaten the result of the game for the Purple Dragons. She goes to the bench. Petty with 2, Matlock with 2. So much like Coach Roby, Coach Kratz has some substitutes that will get good minutes. And Fern loses the basketball, tries to swat it back inbounds towards the far baseline. She is unable to save a Purple Dragon basketball. It will be a far sideline inbound by Sophia Penamani, as Zoe Penamani is now on the court for the Dragons. Johnson catches in the backcourt. She'll dribble with her dominant right hand. She'll cross the timeline. Now accelerates. On her hip is Montgomery, the senior. Dribbles with her left hand now. Is able to worm inside. Tries to get with a wraparound bounce pass. Foul on the floor. 19th foul committed by DeSoto. Sloppy basketball from both sides. And it's on for her first. So Riley Johnson at the free throw line. To begin the season, she was in the starting rotation as her first shot on the 1-and-1 does not go. Montgomery with the board, but since then she has been relegated to the second unit in favor of Petty and Sophia Penamani. Still getting pretty good minutes off the bench. 4 seconds to go. So Penamani hits the deck, fighting, contesting with Estrada for the loose ball, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by DeSoto. 1.8 to go. And the Dragons, they are able to get a leak out into the backcourt, or in the front court, excuse me. They could score. Kidd asking for the basketball. She's posting up on for midcourt. And Zoe Penamani to inbound from the far side corner. She gets it. Sophia Penamani, full court heave, no way. After one, 8-6 is the score. And a lot of mistakes from both sides. But the great equalizer is that both teams are nearly in foul trouble. More so DeSoto as they have 19 fouls, 5 for the Dragons. 2 fouls on Mackenzie Shoup, 2 on Ellie Bream, and 2 on Searles for the Wildcats, 2 on Matlock and 2 on Petty, 2 key contributors for the Dragons. We are back in 30 seconds. We will be back with the top of the second right after this. You're listening to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Are you tired of all those confusing checking account options? The Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union makes your choice simple. We only have one option. Our checking account has no monthly fees, and if you maintain a $2,000 minimum balance, we pay you interest. Get the Credit Union Advantage at 416 North Broadway or call 620-231-5719 for more information. Deposits are federally insured by NCUA up to $250,000.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
Hello and welcome back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. Caleb Witt now as our camera operator for our live stream. You can catch that on ESPN100.7.com. Shelby White back at her KSHQ studio. Cam Molina with you. Avi Sharma, our usual color commentator on break. He decided that he had better things to do, but the Dragons, on top of their priority list, is reclaiming the lead, which they once held to start the contest. They were up 2-0, but since then it has been a sluggish ballgame. A lot of turnovers between both sides. 8-6 DeSoto up 2 as we begin the second. Matlock at the peak of the arc. She interchanges with an open Casper. Casper, the senior, launches a pass left wing. Riley Johnson attacks to the high post. She looks for Kidd. Kidd on a roll, can't score. She leaves it short. Fights for the offensive rebound, and on the second effort is able to score. How about Caitlin Kidd and her efforts? 4 points, 3 rebounds in the contest thus far, and has notched 2 double-doubles this year. Shoup for DeSoto back in the contest. She had 15 points against Bonner Springs in the Tonganoxie contest. Trapped right corner and a 5-second call. Turnover by DeSoto, which has been the theme of tonight, one that Coach Robbie wishes to rewrite in this second period of action. Matlock to inbound, left side of the goal towards the near baseline. And it will be Abby Casper in the backcourt as she will have to go all 84 feet to the rim, as Petty, who has 2 fouls, and Matlock, who has 2 fouls, are on the court. Petty will go to the right corner. Casper will attack, and Shoup was playing good defense, but it looks like Matlock was called for the illegal screen, her third. Zoe Pitamani comes back out onto the floor, and Coach Crotch was furious following the play. And again, he has that old-fashioned Roy Williams 2-foot stomp and try to yell at your player to catch their attention. If there's one thing he's done right, it's get the attention of these young girls and has been a great mentor to all of them. Left corner, head fake by Breen, but that causes the ball to slip out of her mitts. She loses it, tries to track it down. The Dragons fight for it. Loose ball and a foul on the floor. And it's called on Kidd. It was a 50-50 ball, so Coach Crotch cannot be too displeased by the effort or the result of said effort. Under 7 minutes to go in the half. It's 8-all. Free throws, 1-1, as that was the 17th foul committed by the Dragons. Offensive rebound by Shoup. It bounces off her chest to Searles. So it's a combination rebound, if you will. But then Searles travels, third travel of the night. Searles having difficulties maintaining her footing. 8-all the score. 6:52 remaining in the first half of play. Across the timeline, Casper holds at waist level before delivering a fluttering pass right wing and a travel by Johnson. My goodness. Sluggish endeavor by both teams. No one can seem to find a proper footing. One thing's for certain, a good turnout of DeSoto fans and Purple Dragon fans on this Friday night. And all cheering on their respective clubs. Shoup on the right wing before reversing it to the top of the key. Coming back out to the point with it is Breen. Breen has the ball ripped away. Right wing is Petty, and Petty is fouled on the floor by Montgomery. And Montgomery, was the one that lost it. Petty does such a fantastic job reading the passer's eyes and also getting a gauge of the passing lane. And there was no real barometer for her future because this is really an unprecedented talent for first-year head coach Chris Crotch in his system. So it's really kind of a feeling out period about how to work with her abilities. But one thing's for certain, Petty's skill set is unparalleled, in my opinion, in the SEK. The only one that really comes to mind is Tristan Gay, and Gay is a splendid three-point shooter. And these two clubs are going to have a mean streak against one another when they play again. 10-8 the score after Petty converts both. Far side block, left-hand hook by Breen goes. Breen with a solid look and was able to capitalize off some bad rotations by the Dragons. 6 minutes left in the half. 10-all is the score. At the apex of the arc is Petty, and she's trying to track down a loose ball following a Johnson chest pass. Good read by Ricks to knock it away. Out of bounds it goes. Searles will sub out for DeSoto, as will Montgomery. 10 team fouls by DeSoto, 7 by the Dragons. Both teams in the bonus, but the Dragons in the double bonus. In the backcourt's Casper following a far side out by Zoe Pitamani. Casper harassed by Shoup, dribbling with her right hand. She wheels past Shoup, right wing Petty before she reverses it. At the point is Zoe Pitamani, left wing Johnson. Casper will attack, lobs it over the top of the defense. Excellent post entry feed to Kidd, and Kidd is able to smear it off the rim for 2. Caitlin Kidd leads all Purple Dragon scorers with 6. 3-point by Deal, no. And it will glance off the right side of the window, then off the orange. And it's a rebound by Zoe Pitamani, and then a tangle up. Held ball, DeSoto possession, and good job by Deal not to give up on the effort as Zoe Pitamani brought the ball below her waist after the rebound. Right wing is for following the inbound. Ricks will accelerate inside. She'll turn off the thrusters. Shoup tries to take a contested 3, and it pays off. My goodness, Shoup, the hair trigger trifecta. She's 3 of 4 from deep, and the Dragons, no sort of, they have a familiarity, let me rephrase that, a familiarity with good three-point shooting performances by opposing clubs. The Huskies on Saturday went 8 of 12 from downtown against Coach Crotch's girls. Petty awaits the high ball screen by Kidd. Ball, Purloin by Fur. Fur accelerates, has Deal. Deal will stop right block, tosses it up, no. Rebound by Fur, weak side. Ball swatted out of bounds. No, they're going to call it a foul as Petty bumped in to Fur, and Petty is absolutely bewildered at the call. Petty is aghast. Her jaw is now being picked up off the floor. She goes to the bench. 18th foul by the Dragons, third on Petty. And a lot of ticky-tacky calls. 4:52 left in the half. 13-12 the score. DeSoto now up 2 as Fur hits her first free throw of the night. Her second offering is still pending as she spins the ball in front of her, sets at her waist, shoots the second attempt, no. Rebound by Casper. Casper, after clamping down the board, will try to accelerate into the front court. She does, dribbling with her left hand, defended tightly by Bream. Airtight defense, brings the ball to her left hip, finds Johnson, who tries to stave off a defending deal, goes to the basket and foul on the floor. Somewhere in the upwards of 12 team fouls now by DeSoto, and that is the first on deal. 2 free throws for Riley Johnson. So Johnson, who is 0 of 1 thus far, has an opportunity to rewrite tonight's script. Her second attempt on the night is good. 4:38 left in the half. 14-13 DeSoto up by 1. Johnson to tie. She sets at her waist, flicks the wrist and holds it. Beautiful free throw. 2 points for Johnson as we are knotted up at 14 all. Crossover right to left, just below her knees by Deal before she scoops it to the chest of Bream. Attacking right wing is Ricks. Ricks inside the right ring before reversing out. Montgomery brings the ball to her forehead, and it almost is like charades as one player tries to guess what's going to happen next. Montgomery reverses it back out. Left corner three by Ricks, up and down. Good looks by Lamyra Ricks. And Ricks was contested to a good closeout by the Dragons, following a lot of interchanging passes. But right now it's 17-14, a 3-point lead for DeSoto with just over 4 minutes left in the first half. We are back in 30 seconds with your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
I had no idea you did that.
That's what I said when I learned CDL does more than just electrical work. Like plumbing, heat and air, security cameras and alarms, generators, solar panels, even signs for my business. CDL really is one company that has a solution for about everything in my home and business. Learn more at cdlsolution.com.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
It's been a gusty night in Southeast Kansas, but good thing we are indoors for what has been a fun clash thus far. The Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons girls basketball team trails by 3 against the DeSoto Wildcats. Ryan Roby and his young bunch trying to claim their 10th victory of the year. The Dragons looking for their 5th as a pseudo ball screen is set by Zoe Pinamani. She slips away as Johnson has it, a 5-second ruling as Deal played great defense. She comes up with a big smile on her face. She and Rick's teammates share high fives. Great defense as Johnson was really befuddled as to what to do with the basketball. Ricks accelerates. The Dragon defense not ready. No one knows what to do. Left corner with it. Montgomery before looking low. Pass fake by for right wing. Deal almost runs into the official, but he has to quickly backpedal. Attacking to the left ring is Deal. Deal will reel back outside. Finds an open Bream. Bream, who will cycle inside, travels with it. These DeSoto Wildcats a bit maladroit as that is the 4th travel tonight. There are 3 on Searles and now 1 on Bream. 3:27 left in the first half of play. Johnson looks on the roll for an open Kid, waits for Bream to blow by. Kid with the offensive rebound and is able to fork it back in. Caitlin Kidd now 8 points and 4 rebounds on the night. She has done the heavy lifting for the Dragons with 3 to go in the half. Attacking right circle is Ricks before finding an open Deal. Deal forks it back. Right wing Ricks. No, the three-pointer does not fall. Offensive rebound by Fur, who has 1 point and now 1 rebound on the night. Right block, spin, Ricks, double team, and a travel. And DeSoto will bring in a substitution. Caitlin Ostronic, who has 2 fouls. Kidd will sub out. And excuse me, she will not sub out, but Coach Krotz to counsel her and then dismisses that quick office meeting. 2:50 left in the half. 17-16 is the score. Dragons down by 1 point. Right wing Johnson rips through right to left. Kidd on the roll again. DeSoto has no answer for that pick and pop. It's more, or rather pick and roll. It's more of a pick and slip, as there's no real contact generated by Kidd, but she does stay there long enough to make you think that it is a roll. Johnson just bad on the delivery, and good defense by Kidd. A partial shift, left wing to Montgomery. Attacking is Ricks, so she'll reverse out Bream. Straightaway three is up to the left of the window, nowhere near the area code of the backboard or the rim. Casper, chest pass to Zoe Pinamani, left wing Johnson. Johnson delivers a beeline pass to an open Sophia Pinamani, who looks for Zoe Pinamani, who posted up far side blocks. Bream with a good reach. She comes away with the strip. Left block, rips. She'll reverse back out left corner. Thought about shooting a three. Then she'll cycle to the high post. Looks for Montgomery right corner. Ostronic and Kidd tied up on the held ball. And finally the officials will whistle it. And will be possession arrow Purple Dragons. 2 minutes to go in the first half of play. Coach Krause and company with a chance to counterattack here and reclaim the lead. And could push up their score to 18 or 19, depending on what the outcome of this offensive possession is. Johnson open, left short corner, right-hand floater goes, twirls around the rim and drops. Another lead change in the contest. Johnson is able to convert her first field goal of the contest. 1:30 left in the first half of play. 18-17 the score. The Dragons up one with the $1:30 left in the half. Fur reverses it, has a wide open player in Bream at the top of the yard. Finds Riggs, who will just lob it up with a little teardrop right-hander. It's off the lip of the iron, then off of Riggs, and it goes out of bounds. Lamaya Ricks in the ball game thus far has no points. She does, excuse me. She has 3 points. I awarded a three-pointer to a different player. I apologize, but Ricks does have a three-pointer in the contest. Attacking left short corner with the right-hand floater is Abby Casper. A good shot by the senior. Her first field goal converted on the night. She has 4 points, 2 rebounds. Dragons with a 3-point edge under a minute to go in the half. Fur dribbles right-handed, right corner. Montgomery, three is up, swishes it. My goodness, Mara Montgomery is able to hit a picturesque trifecta. Coach Krotz screaming at his girls to run a set. 38 seconds to go in the first half. Left corner is Johnson. 35 to go. Casper steps into a 19-foot two. No. Zoe Pinamani with the offensive rebound. Ball swatted out of her hands. It will remain with the Purple Dragons. 20 all is the score. Make sure to stick around for the halftime report. We will go over first half statistics as well as a look into the second half of play. Kidd catches right over before reversing it to Zoe Pinamani. Read by Ricks. Open lane. Goes up. Right-handed. Scores. 25 seconds to go in the first half of play. Ricks in the contest. Now 2 of 4 from the floor. She has 5 points. 2-point lead by DeSoto. Johnson dribbles right wing, looks for the pick and slip, and Kidd blows the layup again. Kidd has to be able to convert those point-blank range shots. Rick is able to reel it in. She loses it. Right ring, needing it up is Ostronic, and she's blocked. So after the first half of play, it has been a very frenetic game. A lot of fouls, a lot of turnovers, but ultimately it's just a 2-point contest, 22-20. Ryan Roby's Wildcats lead it as we head into intermission. Make sure to stick around. We are back in 2 minutes with a halftime report. First half statistics, some insight, and a look into the second half of play coming your way on your home of Purple Dragon Athletics, ESPN 100.7.
When the lights come up on Friday and Saturday nights at high schools and colleges across the region, it's often on a field.
What do you want from your bank?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? There is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union, with locations in Pittsburg, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville, serving area residents since 1949.
Headquartered in Richmond, Kansas, QSI Quality Structures Incorporated specializes in designing and building complete post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether you need a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built massage, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI. Everything we do is right on cue.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you become part of something more.
We're a family of crimson and gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out.
Without standing apart.
You belong.
At Pittsburg State University.
What you want.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Hello, we welcome back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7 alongside Caleb Withnow. Shelby White back at our KSHQ studio. Cam Molina with you for this Friday night bout between the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons and the Soto High School Wildcats. How about after one half of play? It's 22-20, a very electrifying matchup. After one quarter of play, Chris Krotz's girls trailed 8-6, but did an excellent job of staying stride for stride with Coach Roby's Wildcats. Let's get to the first half statistics, beginning with the team that's leading. The Wildcats, Montgomery, has 3 points as she's 1-1 from downtown and including a rebound. She was able to hit a 3 in the last 2 minutes of action in that first half. Jordan Deal was the beneficiary of a questionable call, and I'll get into that in a moment. She has 2 points, 2 of 3 free throw shooting and a rebound. 5 points for Lamira Ricks as she has played a fantastic ball game thus far. Good defense, and she has orchestrated the offense when Mackenzie Shoup has been off the floor. 1 rebound for Linnea Searles, but 3 turnovers, all travels. She needs to probably refer back to the rule book. Ellie Bream has 2 points, and Shoup 9 points, 3 of 4 shooting from behind the arc. Emily Furr with a point and a rebound. So a good showing thus far from the Wildcats. They've shot 5 of 8 from downtown, 3 of 6 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds. And as for the Dragons, Riley Johnson with 4 points as she is giving Coach Krotz plus minutes off the bench. 1 rebound for Zoe Pinamani, 1 rebound for 1 rebound for Cassidy Odell, 8 points for Caitlin Kidd, including 4 rebounds. Caden Matlock with 3 fouls, a similar predicament to last Friday when the Dragons played Wichita West and the Pioneers forced Matlock into 4 fouls and sat the bench until the beginning of the third quarter, and gave the Dragons the boost they needed to win that game. Sophia Pinamani, 2 points and a rebound. 4 points for Abby Casper and 2 for Madeline Petty, both in the free throw line. She has 3 fouls as well. In the first half of play, it has been a very inconsistent play between both sides as the Dragons have had a bevy of turnovers in that first half. In addition, they have started to really lean into the foul rhetoric that this game has produced. 18 fouls committed by the Dragons. Try 12 for DeSoto as they have a multitude of players in foul trouble. And they have in total, 3, 6, 8 players with at least 1 foul. 2 on Ostronic, 2 on Shoup, 2 on Searles in that first half. Shoup is the team's leading scorer. She dropped 15 against Bonner Springs in the Tonganoxie tournament, in which the DeSoto Wildcats took a second place trophy home. But for this Dragon team, the effort has been there tonight, and that has been the difference between the game against the Huskies and tonight. There was just no effort in that contest. Coach Krotz said it himself, but to add, he said there were multiple factors that played into it, one being fatigue. Good to play devil's advocate. To that point, everybody played 3 games. So you can go back and forth on how you want to decide that. You can persuade one way or another. Regardless, that's in the past. Coach Krotz and company focusing on the future. The adjustments they need to make are minimum heading into the second half of action. One being limit the fouls by your key players, and that goes more so on Matlock and Petty. And one could say, that's kind of arbitrary. Players do have a matter at how the foul is called, and if they commit the foul, and if it's blatant, but other times, some of those ticky-tacky calls, which have been pretty apparent tonight. I'm not one to criticize the officials, but between the disdain by Coach Crotch and Coach Roby, the game has been kind of insufficiently called, in my opinion. But hopefully that is ironed out heading into the second half, where the officials now have a gauge of how the speed of the game is going. But you look at the scoring for the Dragons, and it's not really spread out. 8 for Kidd, 4 for Casper, 4 for Johnson. And it has been the pick and roll that has been so effective, with a pick and slip from Caitlin Kidd. Riley Johnson and Abby Casper doing a good job rotating the ball at the point and waiting for Kidd to be isolated on that far block as the defense shifts over. And waiting for that high ball screen. Kidd has rolled off several times. En route to 9 shot attempts. She's converted 4 of those. But it's been the miscues down low for Kidd. She seems really rushed, catching on that far block and then tossing the ball up with her right hand. She needs to slow down, get her bearings, get her feet underneath her, and then attempt to score. So for Coach Crotch, just tell your girls to slow down offensively. There's no real reason to rush it. If the defense is not there on the help side, take a power dribble, then go straight up. You're more likely to draw an and-one opportunity by taking that power dribble than you would catching and then going straight up with it. But it looks like the front court players for the Wildcats have not been picking up on that slight nuance by Coach Crotch and his offense. Just that pick and roll, that pick and slip. If Emily Furr, Caitlin Ostronic, and Ellie Bream are able to read that, hey, I needed to stick with Kidd and not hedge out, just stick there and play good defense on the forward, then that's going to eliminate that offense. To that point, there have been some really good corner looks by Madden Petty and Riley Johnson, Sophia Penamani to add once or twice, but being able to knock down the 3 is extremely important. The Dragons at the beginning of the season, I would say through the first 8 to 9 games of the year, as we are at the 13th game of the season, really found some consistency from deep, about 4 threes per contest, but the last couple of games it has been a challenge finding any sort of competency from behind the arc. Check out against Northwest, 1 of 6 from deep. How about Wichita West, 1 of 8. In those 2 games, that's 2 of 14 from downtown. Try to implement some floor spacing plays if you are Coach Crotch, and see if you can find a situation that makes Petty really comfortable, because, again, going back to our pregame show in the beginning of the broadcast, it was Petty has really found herself on the low, attacking that far side short corner, trying to go with the Euro step. She really needs to mix up her offense. Good side is that she's a freshman, and there's plenty to learn. As for this DeSoto team, maybe it would be best to switch to a 2-3 zone, try to lock up the interior. If that help defense is not going to be there, continue to shoot the 3 ball with effectiveness. And again, that goes back to more of the players on the floor, but you can put yourself in better situations. Try to overload one side of the floor, like DeSoto has been doing. They've been bringing a player running the baseline to the far baseline and then to the near baseline, which is freed up a lot more than just that 3-point jump shot. You can run a slip off of that. You can run something off the high post and reverse it once. The options are nearly limitless if you continue with your offense and start to space the floor. With that, 22-20, Dragons trail by 2. We are back with the beginning of the third quarter after a 2-minute commercial break. You're listening to the home of Purple Dragon Athletics here on ESPN 100.7.
If you want to improve your basketball skill set, you need to attend one of the Lane.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you've become part of something more.
We're a family of crimson and gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out
without standing apart.
You belong
at Pittsburg State University.
What do you want from your bank?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? There is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union with locations in Pittsburg, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville. Serving area residents since 1949.
Headquartered in Richmond, Kansas, QSI, Quality Structures Incorporated, specializes in designing and building complete post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether you need a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built design, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI. Everything we do is right on cue.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like.
Mary, welcome back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. We are set to begin the third quarter of play. The Dragons at home trailing by 22-20 to Ryan Roby's DeSoto Wildcats. The official talking with Ellie Bream, who had a good first half defensively, 2 points to her name. In the backcourt, it's Shoup, who has 2 fouls. And again, it was a very erroneous first half between both sides, combining for about 20 team fouls. Ball slapped out of bounds right wing by Petty. It will be a Wildcat inbound from the far sideline in front of several Pittsburg high school fans. Bream is waiting on the ball to be rolled to her. As she will find Shoup in the backcourt, she crosses into the front court. After crossing the prime meridian, Shoup will find Montgomery, who tries to squeak a pass through to a curling Searles, but Searles was not there. Ball stolen away. Good defense by the Dragons. They were clustered in the key. 7:30 left in the third. 22-20 to score. High post. Matlock and Kidd both there. Petty will attack. Right short corner goes up, misses, but grabs her offensive rebound, fights and goes back up for the +1 opportunity. Madden Petty doing it the old-fashioned way, turning butter and getting to the free throw line. Petty squares up at her waist, flicks the wrist, and forks it through the bottom of the nylon. 23-22, Dragons up by 1 now, as it has been really a back-and-forth affair. I think this game will go all 12 rounds. Under 7:30 to go. 1 point lead for the Dragons. Shoup goes with an in and out with the right hand. That was a bit slow, though, before she reverses it to Ricks. Ricks chest pass to an open Montgomery. Left wing wide open is Bream for the 3 off the right side of the orange, and it carries off, and it's Petty right there for the vice grip-like rebound. Casper into the front court. Standing about 3 steps away from the top of the arc. High ball screen set by Kidd. She'll roll to the basket before Sophia Penamani catches it. Outside the left wing, catching left wing is Casper on the pick and roll with Matlock. Matlock mishandles it, and a tangle up between both Bream and Matlock, then a loose ball. Kidd fights for it, Kidd hits the deck, and then it's thrown away, but I think a Pittsburgh player ended up getting a fingertip on it. 6:45 left in the third quarter of play, 23-22, and Coach Crotts electing to go with a dual high ball set, if you will, where he has both Kidd and Matlock at the high post on each respective elbow, and then it will be kind of like a pick and roll situation for whatever side the guard tends to go to. Missed jump shot, right block by an open Bream, offensive rebound by Montgomery. Montgomery has the ball jarred out of her hand. Rick's fighting for it, as well as Sophia Penamani. It goes out of bounds. Wildcat basketball. From the right side of the basket, far baseline will be the Wildcats on the inbound. Catching it is Bream before she reverses it right corner to an open Shoup. Bounce pass by Bream, but she traveled before getting the ball out of her hand. On your tile, the Dragons are going left to right offensively. Searle comes up to apply the full court press, but then will relax and just stick with Matlock as Shoup waits at the midcourt line for Casper. Sophia Penamani catches right wing. Matlock at the point before finding Petty, the star-studded freshman, and then Shoup grabs Casper by the arm and forces Casper backwards as the ball goes out of bounds, but I think that was a bit inadvertent, actually, as it was met with some jeers from the Purple Dragon student section. Petty catches off the far side inbound to the right block, but travels with it. Petty had it, then I think she shuffled her feet before going up with it. So the shot is waved off before the hoisted up attempt even fell to the left of the goal. It never went in. Interchanging, Shoup will find an open Montgomery before it's reversed at the peak of the arc. Green will catch left double. Whipping inside is Rick. Shoup will have it right wing. Defended by Casper. The senior right up in her grill. No airspace. Shoup has it, nearly a 5-second call, but finds a crevice, goes up right-handed. No. Breenoff hits a rebound. Foul +1. Allie Bream, a splendid job fighting for the second chance. And it's on Casper. That is Casper's first, team's first of this second half. Free throw, no. Casper galloping on the break will slow down the cadence before scooping it backwards to Matlock. Casper will catch it again, brings the ball to her chest, then to her forehead, finds Petty, who rips through right to left, goes left block and draws a foul on her way to the basket. I believe it was on the floor though. Official on the backside will say in the process of shooting, and it's on Searles. So Searles picks up her fourth. 24-23 the score. DeSoto leads by 1, but now we're tied again. Deal will come in, as will Furr. Montgomery goes to the bench with Cyril. Petty sets on her knees. Spheres up and through the bottom of the net. Petty now 5 of 5 from the bar, 7 points and a rebound. 1 point contest. Dragons lead it by 1. Shoup behind the back move, has Casper on her heels. Shoup attacks and a foul call. Late rotation by Kidd, and Shoup was able to take advantage of it, being extremely aggressive and assertive. Second foul on Kidd. And that is the second team foul committed by the Dragons with 5:14 left in the third. Coach Crod stands on in a thinking man's manner with his left hand to his facial hair, scratching his chin. His right hand used as a platform to keep his left hand up. Shoup knocks down the first free throw. Second offering's up, and the beeline free throw goes. Shoup has pretty good height. She's about 5'11" and a sophomore. Plenty more room to grow, but another great talent for Coach Roby. Right block, open, Petty steps through, no. Air balls at Petty, clean up on aisle 12 as she gets tangled up underneath the legs of Ricks and hits the hardwood in a very hard manner. Interchange handoff between Breams and Deal. Attacking left short corner to the left block is Ricks, cannot convert. Rebound by Matlock as she clears it out. Matlock scoops it over to Casper. Casper. Right wing, Sophia Pinamani holds onto the basketball, goes nowhere with it, and she's pretty hesitant to dribble with it, not very confident in that ability. Attacking Petty inside the key and a foul on her way to the basket. Petty is reckless. My goodness, she has no regard for her well-being as she rumbled inside and bumped, not even bumped, actually barreled into Furr, who is not moving. Petty kicks up the left foot, free throw short, 25-26 the score, and Coach Kratz made the notion and acted out, pulling up on a jump shot, and when he and I spoke, he said that is one thing I really want her to focus on, is that pull-up game. If she's able to get a defender on their heels or on her hip, take one step back and shoot almost like a step back, that will be a great move to add to her arsenal. We are tied at 26. Petty misses her first free throw of the night, but responds well after missing the first, converts the second. And it will be Zoe Pinamani checking in for Petty, who has 3, but now 8 points in the ball game, 6 in this third quarter of action. Under 4:30 to go in the third. Shoup dribbles right-handed, her braided hair bouncing off her number 30 uniform. Ricks, left wing, will have an open Deal who looks backdoor, and it's a kick ball. Johnson read it well. I don't think it was intentional on her part, but she did a good enough job to step in front of the basketball and get her shoe on it. It will be a left side of the backboard inbound, far baseline. Shoup was initially going to inbound, but now it's Bream, so a set going to be run by Coach Roby with his right hand to his head. Open right corner as Fur before reversing it, having an open Deal. Deal will find Ricks, who slashes inside and fouled on her way to the rim. This time on Casper. That is 2 on Casper with 4:10 left in the third. 26 all on what has been a very fun contest. There have been spurts of high-octane action, and then for a majority of the contest, a lot of errors. Both teams relatively young and just trying to get a grasp of each coach's system. Ricks goes 1 of 2 from the line. Lamaya Ricks now 1 of 3 from the stripe. 6 points in the ball game. Johnson pushed out of bounds with the basketball, and the official will say it was last touched by DeSoto. Sophia Pinamani will inbound in front of her student section. Again, to reiterate, it's fraternity night, if you will. All the male student body members in the student section wearing snapback hats, some dress shirts with khaki shorts, and a travel by Casper. 27-26 the score, and that kind of goes back to my initial point of we've had really fun spurts, and then we've hit cold spells. Shoop past the timeline, standing on the purple dragon logo that's emitting flames from its nostrils. Scooping it back to the torso of an open Ricks. Ricks left wing deal before it goes left corner and stolen by Kidd. Kidd did a great job getting her hand on the basketball as Bream brought it low. Casper reverses it back out to a Zoe Pinamani. Sophia Pinamani, her sister, twin sister in fact. Left wing has Abby Casper, who takes a big leap, a jump from the right elbow to the top of the key, and ball stripped away by Ricks, tries to keep it alive, and Coach Roby has to stop the momentum of Ricks, who is flying by the bench. 3:20 left in the third. Montgomery will come back in for DeSoto. Bream will take a breather. Fatigue not so much of an issue as Zoe Pinamani for the Dragons, and Cassidy Odell has earned time in this contest, and for DeSoto, good minutes from several of their bench contributors, including Fur and Ostronic. Casper loses her handle on it, and Shoop tries to split two defenders in Kidd and Sophia Pinamani, and will draw contact and will take a trip to the charity stripe. It's on Sophia Pinamani. That's Pinamani's first. Matlock and Petty set to check in for the Dragons with 3:06 left in the third. 27-26 is the score. Shoop, her first free throw, and again, it almost looks like a dart. I mean, it's a straight shot when she shoots. I'm surprised it doesn't just spike off the back iron when she attempts her free throws. But Shoop, before shooting her third attempt of the night, was 2 of 2 from the bar, and is now 3 of 4, so she gets it done regardless. She has 12 points and leads all scorers. Coach Krotz, a 30-second timeout, 28-26 is the score. Dragons trail by a possession, out rebounding the Wildcats by 4, but in the three-point shooting game, it's a +5 advantage for this DeSoto club. We are back in 36 with your home of Purple Dragon Athletics on ESPN 100.7.
Advanced technology, comprehensive quality care. That's Kanar Eye Care. We have the newest technology, but we never lose sight of what's most important, our patients. Eye care has changed dramatically in recent years, and we've been there for you every step of the way. At Kanar Eye Care, patients spend time with doctors. Total eye care, from contact lenses, including bifocal contacts, treatment of disease, and surgical co-management. Kanar Eye Care, the clear choice.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
Caleb Wood now our camera operator for ESPN 100.7 live stream. Cam Molina, Shelby White with you right now. Score is 28-26. DeSoto up 2 on the road. Under 3 to go in the third. Up fake by Casper. Far side corner towards the near side of the court, and a turnover by Matlock. She was inside the lane and then caught the ball. Her right foot was her pivot foot and walked with it. Matlock has not executed well tonight. She has a rebound to her name and 3 fouls. Shoop, dribbling with the right hand, bounce pass, Petty read it like a book, goes up, left-handed and scores. Petty even slowed down, looking for Shoop to come up behind her and foul. The sophomore was not going to take the bait. Attacking far side ring is Ricks, loses it as she tried to save it. She was forced towards the baseline and just wanted for 4 screen-colored teammates to have a chance at it. Far side wing, Johnson dribbles right hand, down to the left hand, bounce pass, Matlock, left block, double team. Now it will be Johnson wheeling towards the far left circle, three-pointer by Petty. The cold streak from deep continues, but Petty tries to crash the board. Ball still loose, Kid comes up with it, free throw line, looks low, Petty goes up, left-handed and draws the foul. A great sequence that exhibited a lot of effort from this Dragon team, and it will pay off as Petty, 6 of 7 from the stripe. As a whole, 10 of 12 will go to the bar. 2:06 left in the third quarter of play, and a timeout used by Coach Roby, a wise one, a shrewd decision by the coach of the Wildcats. We'll keep it here in your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. We just did it, but we think we're awesome. So a quick recap of your crew members tonight. Caleb Whitnell, camera operator for our live stream. If you want to watch all the Purple Dragon action on your TV or computer, tune into ESPN100.7.com. Shelby White back in her KSHQ studio doing a sublime job keeping us on tonight. Cam Molina with you. At halftime, it was 22-20. The Soto led 28-all right now. And Madden Petty, who had 3 fouls after one half of action and 2 points to her name, now has 10 points and a rebound, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. And Petty will now have 2 more free throw attempts. Her first leaves it just shy. Coach Kratz brings up his left hand and right hand, uses both index fingers, motioning for Kidd to make her way to midcourt. Casper's there with her. Ricks is also there for the Wildcats. Petty knocks down her second offering, though, and she is now 7 of 9 from the stripe, 11 points, 2 rebounds. Shoop crosses the timeline, crosses over left to right beneath her knees, and with it is Deal. Deal with her blonde hair bouncing off the nape of her neck will find Shoop, right wing. Shoop, chest pass, has an open Deal and will penetrate inside the left circle, versus it back out to Bream and a travel. And DeSoto has hit a dry spell the last 30-40 seconds, and it has been a long 30-40 seconds because of the fouls. 18 fouls combined in this third quarter, and some of the turnovers. Petty, left wing, being cleared out by Casper. Casper wants to go one-on-one with Shoop. She takes her off the bounce, goes up left-handed and scores. That's just excellent one-on-one play. And Abby Casper with the moxie to take it to the rack. 31-28, 1:30 to go in the third. Dribbling left-handed will be Bream. Bream interchanges with Ricks to Deal. Deal looking to fork it to someone. Has Shoop's left wing 3. Long. As it glances off to the right side, Karams, Petty, held ball between her and Ricks, and it will be Purple Dragon Rock regardless. The Pitamani twins and Zoe and Sophia make their way out onto the hardwood.
And the game for the Soto, number 2, Montgomery.
Ford will go to the bench for the Wildcats. Coming in will be Montgomery with 1:10 left in the third. Matlock Petty will sub out for the Dragons. Zoe Pitamani just to the left tip of Casper. Distance between the two, they were initially abreast. Left wing is Johnson, a good job defensively by Deal to make Casper hesitate with the sphere. Casper looking to go off the bounce again, pulls up right-handed, no. Rebound by Fur is lost. Montgomery and Ricks fighting for it. Their teammate, but Ricks will eventually win out. Left wing is Shoop. Shoop will attack right-handed, but then reverses back out. After moving the shifter from drive to reverse, she'll interchange with Deal. Deal will find Montgomery, the other senior on this basketball team, attacking from the left circle to the right circle as Ricks. Bounce pass to an open Shoop, delivers a beautiful thread bounce pass to Bream, but Bream misses, and Bream has had a rough stretch thus far. And Shoop put her in a great position to score, just unable to capitalize. Zoe Pitamani about 5 steps away from the top of the arc and travels with it with 15 seconds to go. Zoe Pitamani turns around and looks at Coach Kratz and says, "I'm sorry." The Pitamani sisters, so much talent with their length and skill set. It's just the hesitancy and the apprehensiveness. Right to left dribble from Shoop. Scoops it into the chest of an open Ricks. Ricks to Deal. Her 3, nothing but net. Deal ties it up. It's 31-all, 1 second to go. So Pitamani has no one to throw to. Let's head to the fourth quarter, tied up at 31-all. A splendid matchup between two opponents that can meet to decide who will go to state. 31-all, DeSoto, Purple Dragons. We bring you back more action here on your sports headquarters in 30 ticks.
I had no idea you did that.
That's what I said when I learned CDL does more than just electrical work. Like plumbing, heat and air, security cameras and alarms, generators, solar panels, even signs for my business. CDL really is one company that has a solution for about everything in my home and business. Learn more at cdlsolution.com.
Let's go back live courtside.
And we welcome you back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. We've had an energetic crowd really feed in to the narrative of this ball game. It's 31-all. Purple Dragons seeking their 5th victory on the year under first-year head coach Chris Krotz. And how about Ryan Roby, his 3rd season, 9-3 on the year with a young club, seeking his 10th victory on the year. It was 22-20. DeSoto leading by 2 points, and after 3 quarters of play, it's 31-all. Bream will inbound a far side out for the Forest Green Sporting Wildcats. Speaking of Forest Green, how about some gaudy shoes from Deal? But that's team colors, so I guess it's mandatory. But either way, let's begin the 4th. Dribbling left-handed is Shoop. She finds Deal wide open right wing and buries yet again another trifecta. 2 of 2 from deep. She was able to hit a 3 with about 15 seconds left in the 3rd quarter to tie it up at 31, and now she gives DeSoto a little bit of an edge. Sophia Penamani trickles along the far side corner to the right short corner. Kid, a bad look from the left elbow as she was trying to dart it on a quasi-high-low option. Inbound by Matlock, left side of the backboard towards the near baseline. Sphere in the hand of Matlock. She'll slap the ball with her left palm. Looks, scans, finds Petty, steps it to a three-pointer. It's up, unable to respond. Montgomery tracks down the loose ball. Montgomery, her 3rd rebound on the night despite being a point guard. Left corner on her knees as Ricks trying to excavate the ball off the hardwood, but she stepped out of bounds. Turnover by the Wildcats. That's the lack of concise offense that Coach Roby has experienced throughout the night. As Searles is set to move back into the starting rotation for DeSoto. Petty splits 2 defenders, goes up, draws a foul, but it's on the floor. Petty does such an excellent job at reading defenders when they bring that double team. Instinctually, she knows to push the ball a little bit in front of her, but not so far as to where the defense has a beat on it. Catches back up to it, try to go with the Euro step, and she draws a foul in the process of shooting. Casper to inbound, near baseline, lobs it over the top of the defense. Bream was there. It's 2 Kid, high post, scanned, interchanged with Casper. She'll wheel towards the right ring, loses it, tries to track it down, dives for it, it goes out of bounds. 34-31 DeSoto, up 3 with 7 to go in the 4th. Bream to inbound. Dragons will not bring a press, but Casper and Kidd both back to apply a slight amount of challenge. Shoop dribbles right-handed, crosses over right to left, brings the ball to the left mid with her right compression knee brace and her left compression knee brace. Shoop goes to work. A whistle away from the basketball. Coach Roby has not appreciated his girls' stagnant offensive play. Regardless, up 3, 6:50 left in the contest. We'll keep it here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. Caleb Woodnow, our camera operator for our live stream on ESPN100.7.com. With she'll be right back at our KSHQ studio. Cam Molina with you. Make sure to tune in following this contest. We will segue directly into the boys' competition, as will be Mike Rice and Kylie Rolf's boys going head-to-head against one another. Kylie Rolf's and the boys' basketball team losing in a double-digit fashion to Blue Valley Northwest last Saturday. The 6A school on a pair of 6'9" forwards and wreaked havoc in the post. Coach Krotz talking with his girls, and we've seen several sets tonight work for Coach Krotz. Some high post plays where the guard will decide which wing she wants to go to, and then it's a roll set off that. We've seen some low post action off that high roll as there's been an overload towards one side of the court and that corner player attacking the baseline. And then we've seen the pick and roll and the pick and slip from Kidd. And no zone by Coach Roby, so if that pick and slip is still in the fold for Coach Krotz, I think that would be his primary source of offense, as Kidd is 4-9 with 8 points. Inside the right ring with it is Bream. She'll reverse it back out. Deal wide open on an island. Straight away trifecta. No. Sophia Penamani is there on the track down. Her 2nd board of the night. Foul in the backcourt. No. A double dribble by Sophia Penamani. DeSoto will now have the sphere. It will be a far side out in front of some Pittsburg High School fans for Shoop. Riley Johnson to come back in. Johnson comes in for Sophia Penamani. She is marking Ricks as her target. Shoop defended vertically by Casper, who starts to fade away. Breams catches it, left block, a Hail Mary opportunity, goes way high off the glass, and then it smooches off the top of the window and gracefully falls through. Coach Crotch wanted to use a timeout, and a great shot by Ellie Breams. She really didn't have to contort her body, but the focus that went into catching the ball about 2 steps away from the left block, then going from the left tip to the left shoulder and scoring. Fantastic. Also, Kamin Shoup on the inbound. That was a long lob to an open front court comrade for the conversion. 36-31 is the score. Dragons trail by 5. And Coach Crotch going back to the drawing board. Coach Roby doing the same. And how about Coach Roby for this club? This season, a 9-3 ball team in his 3rd year. He initially coached at Mill Valley High School. He did a fantastic job there, served as both the boys and girls coach at one point. This is his 10th overall season of coaching out of the University of Kansas, where he earned his bachelor degree in education and master's degree in the same curriculum and discipline. He attended high school at Shawnee Mission North, so not too far away from where Mill Valley was at, and then decided to move over with his 3 kids and wife Tracy to DeSoto, and has been happy since. 3 years as the head coach and a lot of positive results. So DeSoto High School in that community has to be pleased what his output has been. 6:30 left in the contest. 36-31 the score. Dragons trail by 5. Matlock to inbound to the backcourt to the senior Casper. Casper with her mitt will dribble the ball, pulsating it with her right hand. Looks right wing to Petty. Petty trying to shake off Ricks, who has been hounding her. Good help defense by Breen. Deflected by Breen. Casper and company have fallen into that trap time and time again, dribbling themselves into a rut in that corner and then trying to force a pass back to the top of the key. Someone has to come help on that same side wing. Right wing with it, working with it is Deal. Deal ejects the ball, left wing, looks for Cyril. Cyril to Breen. Breen touched it last before it went out of bounds, but the official towards the near baseline, the far baseline will say that it was last touched by a Dragon. 6 to go in the contest. 36-31 to score. Shoup to inbound. Scans. Nudges with her head, trying to find a target, and that will induce Cyril to move over, and then a foul on the floor by the Purple Dragons. It's on Matlock. A bit handsy there. Matlock earns her 4th. And Zoe Penamani will sub in. Matlock will be used the last 3 minutes, I can postulate. Left corner, Cyril's wide open. She has not been very impactful in this game with 4 fouls. Left corner, head fake by Shoup, attacks, goes left short corner, hoists it up with the right hand. The ice cream scoop shot bounces off the window, smooches the lip of the orange, and drops through the bottom of the nylon. 38-31, 14 points for Mackenzie Shoup. So Shoup to make it an 8-point ball game. The Dragons have not scored in the last 2 minutes, 15 seconds, which has been the entirety of this 4th quarter of play. Shoup drops to 3 of 5 shooting from the line. 38-31 the score. A 7-0 run by DeSoto, and Petty, who threw the basketball to Johnson, had it touched by Shoup and went out of bounds. In front of the scores table will be Zoe Penamani with her gray Nike shoes and white Nike shocks with a black swish to inbound. Searles, great read defensively, the first impactful play of the night she's had. And then Zoe Penamani foul, 17 foul, a disastrous play that could officially turn the tide of this, what has been, close contest. Searles to the free throw line.
Number 22,
DeSoto, 7 of 13 from the stripe. Searles with the 1-and-1 free throw off the rim, no. And Breams with the foul. And Breams used her right hand to gain some separation on that arm bar. 16 foul committed by DeSoto. The Dragons one away from the bonus. Inbound to the backcourt, some pressure, but Casper tells everybody, hey, retreat, I'll take Shoup one-on-one. That is the case here. Left hand dribble to Petty. Left wing. She'll try to work past Shoup, who plays great defense using her body. Ball stolen away by Shoup. Shoup pushes the ball in front of her. Kid trying to track her down. She goes up, foul +1. Again, deja vu. And Mackenzie Shoup and company may have put this one out of reach. 40-31 is the score, 5:14 left in the ball game. 4 fouls committed by a team and the 8th team foul.
At the line, shooting one shot, number 30.
And Montgomery checks in, but a legal substitution, now she comes in. And Deal will sub out. Shoop to make it a double-digit contest here. That would be the first double-digit lead of the night. She does just that.
In the game for Pittsburgh, number 44, Ella Hendrickson.
Ella Hendrickson to check in as the boys basketball team warming up ahead of tonight's matchup against Mike Rice's DeSoto Wildcats. 5:10 left in the ball game, plenty of time, but with the way the offensive struggles have been, I'm not sure if Coach Krotz and company can dig themselves out of this hole. Petty has the ball jarred loose, stolen by Breen. Breen will slow down, looks left corner, flashing up to the basketball as an open Searles. Searles attacks left short corner and a travel.
In game for Soto, number 3.
4 travels by Searle. Under 5 to go in the contest, 41-31 is the score. Ball pushed into the front court, or rather back court, excuse me, where an open Casper is at. She remains alone as Zoe Pinamani runs past her left hip. It's Riley Johnson, right wing. Petty, left wing, as she catches it, brings the ball to her right shoulder. Casper catches left corner torso. She attacks left short corner. There has just been a lid on the rim tonight for the Dragons as Casper unable to convert. Some untimely misses. The Dragons 10 of 21 shooting, under 50% on the night. Right side of the backboard, ball is inbounded by Casper. Ella Hendrickson has Zoe Pinamani right elbow. Petty steps into a 3, that's an air ball. Ella Hendrickson has it, but it's off her shoulder as it glances off. It carries to an open Breen. So Breen with the loose ball rebound. Dribbles right-handed, chest pass, left wing Deal, brings the ball above her black Nike headband. Right corner, Searles with it, Searles. Lobs up a pass, left wing. It was fluttering, but no one stepped in the passing lane to come up with a steal. Casper greets Shoops, crosses over, right to left, attacks inside the lane, bounce past Searles. Searles with it, defended by Zoe Pinamani, and a foul on the floor by the Dragons. 19th foul committed by the Dragons, so a 1-and-1.
The personal foul is total number 10, Zoe Pinamani.
Zoe Pinamani earns her second. Matlock to come in with 4 to go. And these are desperate measures for Coach Krotz. His girls down 10 with 4 minutes to go in the ball game. So Searles to the free throw line. Riley Johnson will come out as well. Searles with a big 1-and-1 opportunity here. Thus far, she's 0 of 1. 0 of 2 now. Casper with a strong board as she clears out the backcourt. Right wing with the sphere is Petty. Looks, chest pass to an open Sophia Pinamani. About 2 steps to the left at the top of the key. Attacking inside is Casper. Tries to lob it up with the right hand. Loose ball. Hendrickson and Searles keep it alive. Held ball. DeSoto sphere. 3:44 left in the contest. 41-31. Wildcats leave. Kidd to check back in. She has 4 fouls. Matlock 4 fouls. And I think Coach Roby is telling his girls to make their way towards midcourt, but if there's a timeout here in the next 30-40 seconds, I think the next course of action for Coach Roby would be to get both Matlock and Kidd out of this game foul-wise. Losing her handle on the rock was Ricks, far sideline. Casper was there to defend and apply the pressure. Turnover by the Wildcats. There's the turnover. I think Coach Roby is well aware of the fouls against Matlock and Kidd. We'll see what both coaches do, a strategic matchup. However, Dragons trail by 10. Coach Krotz will have to do a little bit more work than the DeSoto head coach. We'll bring you back what the result is here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7 and 30 ticks.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you. Let our skilled providers treat your non-life-threatening illness or injury at a fraction of the time and cost of an ER visit. Located at the corner of Centennial and Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons. Open 7 days a week for your convenience. SEK Urgent Care, where your family and time matter. Find us fast on names and numbers.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
Anna Mary, welcome back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. Cam Molina Caleb with now. Shelby White back at our KSHQ studio. 41-31 is the score currently. Dragons trailing by 10 at home, trying to avoid their 9th loss of the season, in which case they will play another SEK opponent, their first one in quite some time, and the Coffeyville Golden Tornadoes. Left short corner, Matlock wide open, tries to uncork a little right-hand floater. Kidd gets tied up with a rebounding foul, I think, and it's a held ball. Possession arrow, Purple Dragons. At first, slow to get up, but Kidd, great effort. I think she realized that she had 4 fouls, but it was a now or never deal. Left short corner with it is Casper. She's inside of the cylinder, now back outside the perimeter. She'll cycle back to the top of the key. Works it around the perimeter, left wing, jab step to the left by Petty. Good hedge by Bream. Right corner wide open is Casper. She'll attack. Looks for wide open, cutting Matlock, and Matlock is able to score. I beg your pardon, my view was obstructed by Coach Crotch, who's standing up and is extremely animated. His club now bringing it in within single digit. Petty and Matlock apply the double team. Coach Roby uses a timeout. Coach Roby trying to pick up Shoup after misreading that play. And he's a very gentle, nurturing coach as he smiles at Shoup, a sophomore who has a lot of ability and has been the linchpin in the scoring endeavor for this Wildcat team. How about 17 points by Shoup of the team's 41? This team has shot 7 of 12 from deep. 3 of those 7 conversions coming from Shoup. She has played a sublime contest and a brilliant effort all around by the Wildcats. Madden Petty has struggled tonight, one of the other scoring leaders this season for the Dragons. She tops the Dragons in scoring average, but against the Huskies she struggled, and tonight has not really found her groove. She's been in foul trouble. That was the story throughout the first half of play. Sophia Penamani will defend Ricks, a near sideline inbound in front of the scorers table, which is purple by Deal. Deal will find an open Shoup. Shoup delivers a beeline pass left wing to Ricks. Ricks defended by Casper. Good trap as it's a triangle in 2 with a little bit of pressure coming out to the corners. Sophia Penamani and Casper defending. Trap in the corner. Shoup harassed. 2:30 to go. Her club up 8. Deal foul by Petty. That's 4 on Petty. I don't think she wanted to do that. She took a gamble trying to rip the ball away. But a great job by Deal to shield the basketball with her body. 10th team foul committed by the Dragons, so it's 2 free throws all the way from here.
Number 3, Jordan Deal.
First free throw goes up and down. Second one also goes.
Number 22, Linnea Zero.
Correction, it seems the first one missed. I thought it went in, and the second one definitely went in. So Deal goes 1 of 2 from the stripe. 3 of 5 from the line overall, 9 points, 42-33 is the score. Far side wing with it is Sophia Penamani trying to scoop it backwards to Matlock, and that was just an ill-advised pass. She fell under duress and wanted to get the ball out of her hand as quickly as possible. Held ball, DeSoto possession. Sophia Penamani comes out, Riley Johnson comes in. Inbound by Breen. Breen scans, has an open Deal in the backcourt. She's at the free throw line on the opposite end, defended by Petty. Here comes the trap, Casper and Petty there, but then they are a bit lax and start to fade away. And as they tailed away, Shoup flashed open. She catches it. Breen about 2 steps away from the apex of the arc. Jab step to the left. Jab step to the left. Up big by Cyril. Cyril attacks to the left ring, to the left elbow. Right back out to Deal. Deal dribbles with her left hand, defended by Petty, who swipes down. Casper to close out, and a foul by Petty. And Coach Crotch yells at Petty saying, "You have 4." And I think that's it for Petty. And whatever chance the Dragons had at finding that 3-point stroke and drawing close, I think just went out the door. And that's just a novice in that situation, not reading the situation correctly, knowing that you're your team's leading scorer. You have an ability not many players on your team have to shoot that 3 ball and to attack inside, and you foul in that situation. And that's just going to be a learning experience for Petty, and that has been the season as a whole for Coach Crotch. A lot of growing pain as Shoup's hits her first free throw. She's now 5 of 7. Her 8th free throw on its way. Spins the ball with her left hand, brings it to her right, shoots, perfect arch, perfect everything on the shot. 19 points for Shoup, back up to double digits. 11-point game, 44-33 with $1:30 to go. Casper will attack, right side circle, wide open as Kidd, left elbow, but a good read by Searle. And now a technical foul called on Coach Krotz, and Coach Krotz has allowed the frustration to get to him, and it's just a frustrating circumstance for the Dragons. There was a technical called on assistant coach Keith Matlock during the JV game, and that was to get his girls fired up. And then a technical foul on Coach Krotz that also stems from that frustration. Things were really close throughout most of the contest, but he said one too many choice words to the official, and that is what you're going to get if you're going to elicit that response. That's what you're going to get. You incite it, you get it. 44-33 to score. Technical free throws for Shoup, and that will just about do it. She'll shoot her 10th attempt right here. Takes 2 dribbles near her right knee, sets at the waist level and converts. She's 8 of 10 from the stripe, 21 points to lead all scorer, 10 more than the next leading scorer, and Petty with 11 as she's fouled out. 46-33 to score, 13-point lead for DeSoto. And that 10th win inching ever closer for Coach Roby. Shoup with her white shoes. Dances trying to strafe away from Casper, but is fouled with 1:30 left in the contest.
Number 33, Abby Casper. That'll be her third personal foul. At the line, number 30,
So we are here on a VHS tape rewind, and the first free throw is waved off because of a lane violation. A good read by the Purple Dragon bench. So just one free throw for Shoup. 2 dribbles for Shoup, right knee. Sets the ball on her shoulder and releases, knocks it down. 9 of 11 from the stripe, 22 points now with under 1:30 to go. 14-point ball game. Something needs to happen here for the Dragons. Right wing, Sophia Penamani, and a foul by Shoup. 17th foul committed by DeSoto, and Petty trying to hype up the student section, and none are really falling for it as they can read the room. Deal comes in for her, who has given Coach Roby some good minutes off the bench with 1 point and 1 rebound. Casper to the stripe, shooting a 1-and-1, will bring the ball below her right knee. Pops up, and as she sprung up, she flicked the wrist and converted. Casper knocks down her 3rd free throw of the night. She can go a perfect 4 for 4 here. Casper goes 2 of 2 after a friendly Dragon hop, multiple Dragon hops. I should redact that initial statement and correct it. 47-35 the score. Dragons trail by 12. Crossover right to left. Bringing the ball to her right hip is Bream before she finds Deal. Deal crosses over again below her knees. Just a basic counterclockwise dribble. Left wing with it is Bream as the DeSoto Wildcats are just trying to milk the clock. Under 60 to go. Shoup, wraparound pass to Searle. Searle looks to the left block. No one's there. Johnson was there on the help defense anyway, so it would have been a turnover. Shoup ribs, elbows flared out, bounce pass. Ricks cuts and scores. Ricks 2 of 4 inside the horseshoe. 1 of 2 from downtown. 3 of 6 overall from the field, and 8 points. Right wing with it, losing her glasses. Sophia Penamani. The Penamanis have had a penchant for losing their glasses mid-game. I think it would be pretty neat to see the Amari Stoudemire goggles come out at some point. Kurt Rambis would be proud too. 30 seconds to go in the contest, 49-35 the score. Kidd will go straight up against Bream and inbound near baseline. Deal catches, Sophia Penamani right there. Forcing her to her right side. Dribbling left-handed is Deal. That will induce a double team as Kidd's right there to bring it on. Kidd straight up with Bream. Rips above her forehead. Bream nearly a 5-second call. She needs to let loose. Does not rip one, and that was far beyond 5 seconds. But Sierra will catch. 8 seconds to go. And DeSoto will pull out a victory. Their 10th of the season, 49-35, following a great offensive endeavor by Mackenzie Shoup. 22 points, 9 of 11 from the free throw line, 3 of 5 from downtown, 2 of 2 from inside the horseshoe. As a whole, 5 of 7 from the field. A great showing by Soto. Coach Ryan Roby pleased with his girls' effort on the road to earn their 10th victory of the year. Coach Krotz and company back to the drawing board before next week's game against Coffeyville. We are back in 2 minutes with the final stat report and a look ahead to the boys' contest. You're listening to the home of Purple Dragon Athletics on ESPN 100.7.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you. Let our skilled providers treat your non-life-threatening illness or injury at a fraction of the time and cost of an ER visit. Located at the corner of Centennial and Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons. Open 7 days a week for your convenience. SEK Urgent Care, where your family and time matter. Find us fast on names and numbers.
When you get engaged and need to pay for the wedding, when you have a baby and need to start that college savings account, it seems like the best moments in life can come with some real financial challenges. What's yours? At Commerce Bank, we find solutions so you can focus on enjoying life. Visit us online at commercebank.com or at a branch near you. Commerce Bank, challenge accepted. Member FDIC.
What does it take to have a truly positive reputation? At Vogel Heating and Cooling, we know reputation is earned by consistent performance, by serving our customers' best interest, by providing top quality, energy efficient ream equipment and service for Southeast Kansas homeowners. Vogel Heating and Cooling is a Ream Factory authorized dealer and has been serving the area for over 20 years. Turn to the experts. Turn to Vogel Heating and Cooling.
Bittner Motors is proud to announce that it is now Pittsburgh's new dealer for the Hustler line of zero-turn lawnmowers. Hustler has manufactured its trademark yellow mower for over 50 years, with each mower being built right here in the U.S. Hustler combines the innovative American spirit with a do-it-right work ethic to produce the best line of zero-turn mowers on the market. Call Mike Bittner at 620-232-1530 or stop by today at 1018 North Broadway in Pittsburgh to check out the Hustler line of zero-turn mowers. Hustler Mowers, made in America at Bittner Motors, Pittsburgh.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
We have 1 of 2 finals tonight. Chris Krotz's girls dropped to 4-9 on the season, losing a home tilt 49-35 against Ryan Roby's Wildcat. Caleb Witt now as our camera operator for ESPN 100.7.com, where you can watch all of your Purple Dragon action all season long across football and basketball. She'll be right back at our KSHQ studio. Cam Molina with you. Final 49-35. Dragons lose. Let's go over the final stats, beginning with the Dragons. Johnson with 4 points, 1 rebound for Zoe Pinamani. Kaden Matlock, 2 points, 1 rebound, and a silent effort. Caitlin Kidd, 8 points and 4 rebounds. Sophia Pinamani, 2 points, 2 rebounds. Abby Casper, 8 points, 3 rebounds. And the Dragons' leading scorer, Madden Petty, fouls out late in the fourth. 11 points, 2 rebounds to her name. In total, 14 rebounds, 0-3 shooting from downtown, 13 of 16 from the line. Not a bad stat line from the stripe, 81%, but that three-point shooting, they're going to have to really focus on that because that's just making this team one-dimensional. Montgomery for the Wildcats, 3 points, 3 rebounds, 9 points for Deal as she shot 2 of 2 from downtown, 3 of 5 from the stripe, 8 points for Lamira Riggs, including a rebound, 1 rebound for Searles, including 4 fouls, 2 rebounds for Selk. Ellie Bream with 6 points, 2 rebounds. And then Mackenzie Shoup, the game's leading scorer, 22 points, 9 of 11 shooting from the floor, 3 of 5 from deep, 2 of 2 from inside the horseshoe, 5 of 7 overall, and then 1 point for Emily Furr and a rebound. The Dragons were outscored in the fourth quarter, 18-4. Again, final score, 49-35. Dragons lose. Let's turn our attention to Kylie Rolfs and the Pittsburgh High School boys Dragons basketball team as Mike Rice and his Wildcats looking to come off the Tonganoxie tournament and turn some heads against one of the SEK's best. Coach Rolf's not pleased with his group's defensive effort following a 68-41 thumping against the 6A talent in Blue Valley Northwest. We'll hear more from Coach Rolf's in just 2 minutes here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Does your current checking account pay you up to $15 per month? With Common Sense Checking at University Bank, you can earn up to $15 per statement cycle.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you become part of something more.
We're a family of crimson and gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out.
Without standing apart.
You belong.
At Pittsburg State University.
A checking account.
What do you want from your bank?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? There is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union with locations in Pittsburg, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville, serving area residents since 1949.
Headquartered in Richmond, Kansas, QSI Quality Structures Incorporated specializes in designing and building complete post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether you need a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built design, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI. Everything we do is right on cue.
Nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hello, we welcome you back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7, alongside Caleb Wood, now Shelby White, back at our KSHQ studio. Cam Molina with you. We are currently experiencing some technical difficulties on the radio side, but we do apologize for the inconvenience as we attempt to solve that. For those of you tuning in on our stream side, we welcome you to ESPN100.7.com. Let's get you to the starting lineup between the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons, Kylie Rolf's 8-3 club against the DeSoto Wildcats and Matt Rice's 6-6 Wildcats. Chase Curtis, Drew Rolfs, Gavin Elkamil, Marquis English, Jarek Butcher for the Dragons, Levi Hansen, Jared Baruth, Brandon Bell, Tyler Bakermeyer, and Grant Knoll for this DeSoto team. It will be Marquis English and the Dragons in their home white uniforms with purple numerals and lettering, and the forest green Under Armour uniforms of the DeSoto Wildcats. And Grant Knoll tipping off. Early on, Knoll wins the tip in the backcourt. Spinning down to the floor with the ball is Barth, and that's a turnover early on for this Wildcat club. Chase Curtis to inbound, far sideline. It will be Gavin Elkamil in the backcourt as he had a good showing in the Border Classic, including an 18-point performance against the Carthage Tigers. Jab step right by English on the perimeter. Looks for Curtis, and talk about early turnovers. English, a bad throw to Curtis on the far side block. At the point, with it is Brandon Bell before he reverses it right wing. With it, Baruth, and he's defended by Elkamil. And a foul committed by Elkamil. Not sure what the call was. The official just said it was a foul. Elkamil had the same puzzle look many did, but now the Dragons completely distracted, have left open Levi Hansen, who's able to score far side block. Hansen, 1-on-1 from the floor thus far. Right wing, Gavin Elkamil. He'll reverse it to Drew Rolfs, who will look low for an open Trenton Austin, who skips it right back. Jab step by Rolfs, who finds English left corner. Curtis swings it. English scans, has Rolfs, flashes to the point. The three-pointer on its way, and down it goes. Drew Rolfs is able to snipe it from deep. And I think I said Jarek Butcher to start the game. That's the first change I've seen in the starting rotation, as it is instead Trenton Austin starting following good performances in the Border Classic. 12 points against Carthage, 12 points against Blue Valley Northwest. And speaking of the reserve forward, he goes hands straight up against Knoll, and Knoll walks with it. 3-2 the score. Dragons up by 1, 6:54 left in the first quarter of play. Rolfs orchestrating traffic as he uses his left hand to conduct the offense. Elkamil will flash on the right ring to the perimeter on the right side. He'll catch in front of some Pittsburg High School fans that are sitting just outside of the steps, but instead it will be Trenton Austin going on a backdoor alley-oop cut. English to throw the lob. Austin was unable to handle it. Curtis caught it underneath, and it looks like he was rammed into underneath the basket as he is gingerly walking to the opposite end of the court. 6:36 left in the first frame of action. 3-2 is the score. Dribbling with the sphere is Booth. Left wing with it and a pass fake by Hansen, who will attack. He goes left corner, and Curtis runs into the student section, and they're not letting Curtis go. There'll be a far side out for DeSoto, and inbound by Tyler Barkmeyer, to inbound. Barkmeyer scans, gets the sphere into the front court, about 2 steps away from the left wing. With it is Hansen. Hansen takes a hop step, and then it looks like his back left foot slips from underneath him. Travel. 6:30 left in the first. 3-2 is the score. Elkamil dribbling with his left hand as he's about to pass the prime meridian. As he continues to pulsate the ball with his left hand, attacks left short corner, and a foul on the floor. And Elkamil went with a behind-the-back move as the whistle blew, and Hansen just about hit the deck. Oh, it was a sweet near-hoop mixtape-like play. Rolfs to inbound, far baseline, right side of the goal. Rolfs scans, has English, bad pass, but English still, with an impressive length, is able to corral the basketball, but it's deflected by Knoll. Knoll comes in with it, scoops it on the break to an open Baruth. Baruth is able to interchange with an open right corner player, and Bell. Bell tries to rotate a far side block. Curtis comes up with a steal. 5:55 left in the first. Curtis attacks, right ring, and a carry. Rolfs already barking out orders to the rest of his teammates on the floor. English shred it well off the far side baseline inbound. Swatted the ball out of bounds, so the ball will be repositioned. Barkmeyer to inbound in front of his own bench with Coach Rice staring onward. English does it again, tries to track it down, and as he was sniffing the end of the ball, he lost it. Again, DeSoto basketball. English with just that long range. And he's able to deflect it twice. Ball's finally inbounded into the backcourt. Barth is able to catch it. Barth comes back to the basketball following a swing to Knoll. Knoll catches it again. Skip pass over to the right wing and a 10-second call. I said right wing. What I meant by that is I was hoping you would interpret it as the right sideline in front of the scores table. Curtis to inbound in front of the purple scores table with English in the backcourt. So Jared Butcher, as I look, not even on the bench, so it seems he will not play tonight. Jab step by Elkamil to the right. He'll attack to the left to the free throw line. No look pass to English. He's able to capitalize on a gorgeous feed from the sophomore guard. English with his first basket of the night. Full court pressure. Barth is able to break it. He looks left and goes in with the right hand and a charge. And talk about a hard-nosed guy in Chase Curtis. Time and time again, he's willing to put his body on the line for the sake of the team. So Baruth picks up his first and the team's second. Elkamil dribbles with his non-dominant hand as he oscillates it. He rips a pass to the right. English whips it to Curtis, who looks low. Austin posted up, right block. He's fouled and nearly draws an and one. Tristan Austin with the power dribble, far side block. Double clutched in the air as he was whacked on the elbow and nose and nearly finished through contact. Barkmeyer is called for his first and the team's third. So Trenton Austin to the free throw line. He'll set at the forehead, flick, and score. And Austin has a little hitch in his free throw, but it's still fluid enough to go through at a decent rate. Second opportunity from Austin. He goes 1 of 2. Dragons lead 6-2. More full court pressure and a frenetic pace from this DeSoto team, and they lose it. Kick out, right corner, Rolf set his feet, he's square, no. Loose ball, guarded by Hanson, he gallops on the break, he leads the pack. Barkmeyer traveled with it, there's no doubt about it, and the whistle finally comes. Barkmeyer received the pass from Hanson. Barkmeyer chirps at his teammate and Hanson saying, I need that earlier. But Hanson went with a hop step and then took another step afterwards, so I'm not too sure as to why he would say something like that to his teammate. He put him in a position to score. At the point, standing at the apex of the arc is Curtis before ripping one to English, right wing. Elkamil flashes back out from the left circle to outside the perimeter, and he travels. First sub in this contest as Brandon Bell, coming in as Xavier Jackson. So Jackson comes onto the hardwood for the first time tonight, and the Dragons still with that impressive pressure as Baruth skips it over the top of the defense, left wing, and Jackson traveled with it. And Coach Rolf's barking out power, so his offense knows what to run. English will go to the right block. Austin will go to the right short corner. Curtis canters down the floor with Elkamil holding the basketball. Elkamil with the chest pass to Rolf's left wing. English goes with a spin move to the outside, sets the ball left hip, up fake on Baruth, and then he goes up left-handed and scores. English 2 of 2 from inside, about 5 feet so far. 8-2 the score. Dragons lead by 6 midway through the first. With it is Baruth as he navigates, scoops it backwards to a wide-open Hanson, right wing 3. Austin tracks down the board. As he leaps through the air, Austin goes to the middle of the lane, tops it up, right-handed as he lost control at the end of his 1-2 step. Last touch by Baruth and DeSoto, so it will remain Pittsburgh basketball. And Hanson had a wide-open look. You could not have asked for a better shot, just unable to convert. English catches left block. Again, another mismatch against Baruth. And English has been able to slaughter Baruth down low on that near side block, and Coach Rice is going to have to talk it over with his boys. I'm sure some help side defense is going to be necessary, but we will bring you back more action in just 30 seconds on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7, Dragons up 8. And we welcome you back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. Caleb Wood, now Shelby White, Cam Molina with you. An 8-point edge for the Dragons, 10-2, 3:30 left in the first. Good split of the defense by Baruth. Right short corner, head fake by Hanson. He'll reset. About an 8-foot 2-pointer, no. Hanson is 1 of 3 thus far tonight. English with the rebound. English pushes it in transition, right corner, and Rolfs delivers a spearing 3-pointer that just lost all of its altitude and height as soon as it hovered over the net. A beautiful shot by Rolfs as he's now 2 of 3 from behind the arc thus far. More pressure as Jackson loses it off his knee, and it's a backcourt violation by DeSoto. Marquis English with 6 points and a board. Rolfs with 6 points. And a point by Trenton Austin from the free throw line. El Camille will grab the ball, holster it left hip in the backcourt, and delivers it bounce pass to Austin, as Curtis catches it at the top of the key. He reverses the ball to the left, back to English on the right block. He spins inside and is able to polish off the play. Marquis English 4-4 from the floor thus far. A threaded bounce pass by Baruth to an open Jackson, cutting through the middle of the lane as Knoll, and a foul committed by a Dragon. And it's on Curtis, his first and the team's second. 15-2 is the score. Dragons lead it by 13 with 2:42 left in the first, and Javon Grant, the freshman, set to check in for the Dragons. Knoll's first free throw, nearly an air ball. It had just enough to smooch the lip of the iron, and some substitutions for DeSoto. Coming in for the first time tonight is Luke Millman. And Javon Grant comes in as well, to reiterate. Knoll, second opportunity, back iron. English, his second rebound. English will control and dictate the pace of the offense. He brings it past the timeline. Has Elkamil right corner. Curtis catches about 2 steps away from the orange. At torso level, goes up through traffic and is fouled. And Grant Knoll commits the foul on Curtis's way to the basket. That's the first on Knoll, fourth on DeSoto. Free throw by Curtis goes as he nods his head in approval and a bit of energy too. And now number 32, Nathan Barnhart for DeSoto comes in. Curtis' second opportunity, that one also goes. So Curtis goes deuce of deuce from the line. Baruth picks up his dribble, skips it to an open Barnhart, and then Barnhart steps across the timeline. Barnhart about 6'9", but the Dragons, accustomed to facing some tall players, talk about Carl Junction in the Border Classic, a pair of 6'7" kids, and then Blue Valley Northwest, a pair of 6'9" forwards. Low ball screen set by El Camille, and then English sets another screen for El Camille. Rolfs rolls out to the left short corner, then flashes up left wing and shoots the 2 and converts. So Rolfs now 1-of-1 from inside the horseshoe. Rolfs 3 of 4 thus far as Jackson is able to fork it to Baruth. Baruth right elbow and a foul by the Dragon. I think it's on Rolfs. Correction. It will be on Javon Grant. So the first foul on Grant. 19-2 the score. Dragons lead by 17 with 2 to go in the first. Only points by DeSoto have been from Levi Hansen in transition. Pull up to Jackson short. El Camille uses one hand for a man rebound. El Camille pushes the ball in transition, dribbles with his right hand, goes up through traffic, nearly earns a +1 as Isaac Leverins is set to check in for the Dragons. So Leverins still waiting to check in, and El Camille goes to the stripe. He had a series of struggles offensively prior to the Border Classic, but really his 3-ball clicked during that period of time. And if we turn to the game against Blue Valley Northwest, he registered 11 points and 2 rebounds in that contest. He shot 3 of 8 from deep. Second shot, good. El Camille knocks down both. And then against Carthage, 18 points on 4 of 8 shooting from downtown. More pressure in the backcourt. Baruth rotates a left wing, and Javon Grant purloins the basketball in transition, wastes no time, throws the ball behind his head as he went from the right to the left side of the glass. English cleans it up with a strong rebound and an even stronger finish. And now a foul on the floor as Javon Grant picks up his second.
foul. Call on number 10, Javon Grant. That'll be his second
So
personal foul.
2 on Grant now. 14 foul committed by the Dragons as Alex Kafka comes onto the floor for the freshman with $1:30 to go. It's 23-2. Dragons lead it at home right now. Marquis English thus far an economic performance as he's 5 of 5 from the floor. 10 points, 3 rebounds. Hansen dribbles with his left, swings it. Left corner three is up and a beautiful stroke from Bell. So Bell is able to can the three-point shot from the far side corner. Rolfs has something to say about it. He pulls up for about an 18-footer. He's inside the two, and that one is short, an air ball. Inbound into the backcourt from Millman. Millman will reverse it back to Hansen, who is defended by Rolfs, who stays on his hip and harasses him. Interchanging with Hansen is Bell. Bell back out to the perimeter with under 60 seconds to go. Hansen lowers his shoulder right into Leverance, and it's called a blocking foul.
The personal foul is called on number 15, Isaac Leverance. That'll be his first personal foul, the 15th on Pittsburg.
Ball's inbounded right corner. Millman has it. Rips through from right to left, defended by Leverance. Leverance will fall back on help defense. The ball is behind the head of Hansen. Delivers a one-toucher to Millman. A one-time up fake by Barkmeyer. Left corner up fake by Bell with 36 seconds to go. Elbows flexed out by Bell. Good read by Leverance. He's trying to track down a loose ball. Still fighting for it. Barkmeyer has it, but he touched it as he went out of bounds. The official saying that it was last touched by the Dragons. So with 29.9 seconds left in the first quarter, Dragons up 18, 23-5. There will be an inbounds from DeSoto. Left wing with the rock is Hansen as he enters enemy territory with 21 ticks to go. Moving the ball like a magic wand in front of his face, and hocus pocus is Hansen trying to catch Wolf's off guard and then stepping out of bounds with his left foot. No correction, a timeout used by DeSoto. Coach Rice wanting to reel in his boys. They've only been able to muster 5 points in this quarter compared to the 23 of the Dragons. 13.8 to go in the first. Back in 30 seconds with your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Small class sizes and tuition so affordable, it earned Pittsburg State a top 10 ranking on Washington Monthly's Best Bank.
And we welcome you back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. 13 seconds to go in the first quarter of action. 23-5 is the score. Dragons leading by 18 currently with 12.9 to go to reiterate. Kafka to inbound, not to inbound, defending the inbounder in Bell. Left corner three by Hansen off the back iron. Loose ball popped up into the air, saving it Millman, but hitting the deck was Kafka. And a pushing foul against Millman. That's Millman's second and the team sixth. Coach Rolfs trying to conduct traffic. Rolfs is the only Dragon in the backcourt. He's trying to inbound. He has English on a one-hop pass. English turns on the thrusters, looks left. Elkamil catches, 5 seconds, squares up his three, wide open, no. Offensive rebound, Leverance goes up, puts it up. And the senior making a veteran play in the waning seconds of the first quarter of action. 25-5 is the score. The Dragons lead it by 20 after 1 quarter of play. Their largest margin after 1 quarter of action this season. We are back in 30 seconds with your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Does your current checking account pay you up to $15 per month? With Common Sense Checking at University Bank, you can earn up to $15 per statement cycle, 10 cents for each swipe after the first 15 swipes. Qualifying is so easy. Simply have one direct deposit or auto payment plus 15 debit card purchases each statement cycle and a $100 opening deposit. Stop by the bank for more information about our Common Sense Checking. Then swipe and save. It's convenience that pays at University Bank. Branch GMB, member FDIC.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
Hello, and we welcome you back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7, alongside Caleb Whitnow, Shelby White back in our KSHQ studio. Cam Molina with you. After one quarter of play, the Dragons earned their largest first quarter lead of the season, 20 points, and also their best defensive first quarter of the year, allowing only 5 points. 25-5, Dragons lead it by 2 10s. Crossover by Elkamil, right to left. Ball poked out from behind by a good defending Baruth. Hansen crosses over in front of his waist, then he'll cock a pass over right wing. Right corner trying to gear up for another reverse is Millman, who has 2 fouls. Knoll sizes up inside the key, tough right-hand floater, does not go. Ball poked around, hot potato drill. Curtis comes up with it, and now a whistle's blown and a foul at the Dragons. Were trying to force the issue and run in transition. And it will be called an intentional foul by the Soto. And I saw 34 on the hand of the official, so I was scanning my roster. He meant 33 Millman. That is 3 on Millman. And Curtis will shoot 2 shots because of the intentional. And it's only the second time I've seen it this season. You see it more prominently at the NBA level when teams are trying to run the fast break. Curtis misses his first. He's now 2 of 3. His second offering is good. He's now 3 of 4. And a sub for DeSoto as Barkmeyer will come in for Millman. So Barkmeyer comes in following the foul committed by Millman. Curtis to inbound as he and the ref share a few words. Both share a smile as well. 7:30 left in the half. 26-5 is the score. Elkamil dribbling next to his right hip. Stagger screen set between Curtis and Leverins, and Curtis moved. He was trying to roll to the basket before this screen was fully set, and the official called him out on it. Austin to inbound after the second foul committed. Austin to sub in for Curtis following the next dead ball after Curtis picks up his second. Hansen head fakes, right corner, tries to reverse away as he twirls. The ball's poked up in the air by English. Rolls comes up with it, lobs it over the top of the defense to English. A beautiful laser pass to Leverage, who catches at the waist level. Head fakes, goes up and draws a foul. He'll head to the free throw line, shooting not 1 but 2. That foul on Barkmeyer. So that's the second on Barkmeyer and the 8th team foul on DeSoto. Nothing working for this Wildcat team. Leverance flicks his wrist and that one goes. So Trenton Austin back into the contest. Curtis will take a seat. A 22-point lead for the Dragons early in the second, not even a minute into the second frame of action. Leverance goes 2 of 2. He has 4 points, including a shot right before the buzzer at the first. Barkmeyer picks up his dribble, has Baruth. Chest pass by Knoll, that's read by Austin. He tries to volleyball, set it ahead to Elkamil, but a good read by Baruth to stay where he was at. Stoic to come up with a second opportunity for his team. Head fake right corner by Bell, bounce past Knoll, and he scores. So Grant Knoll had Austin on his hip, wasted no time to hoist the ball up and off the window. 28-7 the score. English squares up, straight away trifecta, a little shy as it glances off right side of the rim. Rebound by Baruth, who marches in transition, stops, and an offensive foul. And now Leverance, I think, is teed up, and Coach Rolfs, I don't know if he's yelling at Leverance or he's yelling at the official. And Coach Rolfs absolutely furious with his senior. I think Leverance said something to Knoll. I think Knowles instigated it. However, Leverance, I think, will still be indicted in this situation. I think it was just a reactionary thing. But if you're a senior or a player in that situation, you don't respond. You just let it happen and let it carry on. Again, easier said than done, but Coach Rolf's not happy at all. And the officials will congregate about 5 steps to the right at midcourt. 6:30 left in the first half. 28-7 is the score. Quick recap of the girls' game. The Pittsburg High School girls basketball team losing their 9th game on the season, dropping to 4-9 on the year against DeSoto. And it was a close contest until the fourth quarter where DeSoto outscored the Dragons 18-4. It was 31-all heading into the third. The Dragons trailed by through most of the game. Did a great job fighting back and trying to stay neck and neck as best as possible. And now the officials are going to bring both coaches in front of the scores table. Excuse me while I try to listen in on this. So regardless, it's an offensive foul on Knoll, so foul will be called for the foul, as he is, and it's already flashed up on the scoreboard. That is his third. And I think they're also calling a technical on Knoll. That's why he was pinned with 2 fouls. And Coach Rolfe still speaking with the officials. And now Leverins is being pinned with his second. So I think we have a double tech with an offensive foul. And Coach Rice and Coach Rolfe amicably meet, slap each other on the back, and call it good.
That'll be his second personal foul, the 19th foul in Soto. Also have a dead ball technical foul on number 35. That will be for an ejection from the ball game.
And it was a dead ball technical foul against Knoll, so he is ejected. And that's what I was listening for, because it came after the fact. And Leverins is also ejected. So that's because of the reaction, a little bit of the shove, and what he said afterwards. So with that, 2 players escorted off the floor. Grant, I think, far more impactful than the Dragon sub. But Curtis comes back in. No free throws for either side as both players are tossed off. And it initially goes back now to the offensive foul. Dragon possession, 28-7 is the score. 6:30 left in the first half. Rolfe's trying to size up Bell before he slings it right-handed to English right wing. Working with it is Curtis at the apex of the arc. Chest pass left wing, Elkamil, he'll receive to the left corner. Then he's tripped up for a second against Hansen. Now he recovers. Crosses it between his legs. Left-right, Rolfes catches right corner. He'll flash back out right wing and finds Austin. Curtis sizing up against a defending Barnhart. And the three-pointer on its way from the left corner by Elkamil. No, ball still loose. Austin comes up with it, blocked from behind. Great defense by the very lanky Barnhart. Good recovery, great anticipation. I need to expand on Barnhart and how he waited for Austin to go back up with it and then time the block. Great cut by Hansen from the top of the free throw line through the middle of the lane, and a great give and go as he scores. Hansen now 2 of 4 from the field thus far with 4 points. Posting up, far side block. Austin goes into Hansen. Air balls. He put too much mustard and too much rotation on the back end of the sphere. Trying to catch it to the basketball. Baruth at the right wing before he gives it to Barkmeyer, who pulls up right-handed and scores. Barkmeyer, good look as Rolfes delivers a fastball into the chest of Elkamil. He tries to respond. Lid on the basket right now for the Dragons as Elkamil does not score. Ball stolen away. Rolfes tries to toss up a trifecta, almost kind of like a quasi-heat check. English tracks it down, goes up through traffic, foul and 1. English 6 of 6. 12 points, 4 rebounds. Rolfes drops to 2 of 4 from behind the arc. 30-11 is the score. Dragons out rebounding DeSoto by 7, 9-2. English to the stripe, wearing his home white uniform that is trimmed with purple and a purple P logo that stands for Pittsburgh on the left and right ends of the shorts. Free throw good by English. 13 for English. And a little bit of a man trap awaiting this team in DeSoto. Able to shred the break, shred the full court press by the Dragons. And Hansen goes with a reverse lay-in. 3 of 4 from inside the horseshoe. And then Barkmeyer, who loses the defensive battle against Austin, stumbles and runs to the wall. And I think I don't know what the call was. I think it was just off the shoe of Barkemeyer, and he tried to track it down. Flashing inside the key is English before he pops back out right wing. Rolfs catches left wing before he darts one left corner. Elkamil rips through, goes inside the key, takes 2 hop step, and the shot, no. Curtis there for the offensive rebound, and he is hammered. So Curtis will take yet again another trip to the charity stripe. 3rd trip tonight. And Noah held ball. Nobody knows. The Dragons are unaware of it. I don't think Coach Rolfs even knew. Barnhart underneath, and that's an easy basket. The Dragons were completely unaware of the held ball. And the Dragons, after only conceding 5 points in the first quarter, they've given up 10, being outscored in the second, 10-6. And Coach Rolfs trying to energize and ratchet up his team's performance, up 16 with 4:17 left in the half. We are back at 36 with your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
What does it take to have a truly positive reputation? At Vogel Heating and Cooling, we know reputation is earned by consistent performance, by serving our customers' best interest, by providing top quality, energy efficient ream equipment and service for Southeast Kansas homeowners. Vogel Heating and Cooling is a Ream Factory authorized dealer and has been serving the area for over 20 years. Turn to the experts. Turn to Vogel Heating and Cooling.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
We are nearing the midway point of the second quarter. 31-15 the score. The Dragons, the beneficiary of an early 20-point lead. Already a lot of obscurities happening as there were 2 players ejected, in Grant Knoll on the Soto side and Isaac Leverage on the Dragon side following some unsportsmanlike play. English catches near the right elbow, scoops the ball in with the right hand and scores. Marquis English, a man on a mission with 15 points. And as the timeout was called by Coach Rolfs, the first thing he said, that is the softest thing I've ever seen. You guys are playing soft right now. And the Dragons trying to ratchet up the intensity, and it's met with an Austin block. As Baruth tried to attack left side. Austin, hesitation, right corner, goes inside, left hand scoop. He's fouled on his way to the basket. So Austin will trolley to the free throw line, and he is 1 of 2 thus far. 33-15 the score. Dragons up 18 with 3:42 left in the half. Second foul committed by Barnhart, who is, from now on, going to be the predominant big man for Coach Rice. Considering Grant is gone, but Barnhart, a very, very wiry young man. Second offering by Austin. Noah, as that one swirls out, again, he goes 50%. Behind the back move by Baruth. Crossing over left to right. Goes up right-handed in front of Elkamil and scores. So Baruth scores. Good drive by Baruth in front of Elkamil and the defending Rolfs. Left wing. Elkamil defended by Barnhart. Ball dumped off down low. Curtis inside right hand scored, and a late foul called against Barnhart. And that is 3 on Barnhart. And Coach Rice's team somewhat spiraling out of control. 36-17 is the score. And now we'll see more subs. Jackson's checked in for DeSoto. And now Wyatt Knoll will check in. So Curtis goes to the free throw line for an and 1 opportunity. Knocks it down. On 4 or 5 free throws, shooting 6 points, 3 rebounds. Ball inbounded to the backcourt at the free throw line is Baruth. Baruth spins away from the defending Rolfs, bounce off of his chest with a stiff arm using his left arm. Up fake by Barkemeyer. Barkemeyer reverses down low, then a left corner 3 by Barkemeyer following the pass out by Knoll. Curtis with his 4th board of the night. Barkemeyer missing his first 3 of the contest on his lone attempt, and then Austin, right corner, mishandles it. 37-17 the score. Dragons lead by 20 with under 3 to go in the half. Knoll inbounds, a far side out in front of some Dragons fans, one with a particularly nice beard and some overalls. Jackson, left wing, dribbles, goes behind the back, defended by English. The marks have switched now. As Baruth is defended by Rolfs, right wing. Jackson flares back up to the point, defended by English. Ball ejected right corner from Jackson to Hansen. Right wing, Knoll rips through. He'll attack inside the right circle. Head fake outside the right wing. English head fake following the steal. Loses it on the left wing. Trying to scoop it and excavate it in a held ball. And Alex Kafka to check in. And Coach Rolfs, one thing he mentioned to me was there is so much more room for improvement on the defensive end for his team. He trusts his team offensively, but defensively he knows his team can play a lot better. Left wing, Elkamil, bounce pass. English catches left block, goes up, double clutches, and that prompts both Barkemeyer and Baruth to levy their left and right hand respectively on the arm of English as he went up, and that's a foul. And it's a first on Knoll, not the defending Baruth or Barkemeyer. So English will go to the stripe. 11th foul committed by DeSoto. English misses his first and will have a second one, as all of the players on the blocks try to make a mad dash for the sphere, but I don't think any realized that it was a two-shot free throw. Hanson will go to the bench. Bell checks back in for DeSoto. Wildcats trailing by 20. English sets at the torso. Second shot, good. Good free throw there, and a good continual performance for Marquis English. Ball stolen away by the Dragons in transition. Up 21 will be Elkamil. He reverses back out. Starts and stops. Left wing three is up by Rolf Snow. Kafka battles for the offensive rebound. He gets it. Double clutches, brings the ball to his chin and scores. Oh, excuse me, that was Chase Curtis. He and Kafka look a lot alike. Just the height is the only difference. Both have dark hair. And following the Curtis basket, the score continues to expand 40-17. It is a 23-point lead for the Dragons with $1:31 left in the first half. Bounce pass by Curtis in the backcourt. English is there. Austin to check back in with under $1:30 left in the half. Elkamil jab steps right twice. Will attack. Nearly gets to the high post. Finds English, and then English misses his first shot as it was deflected. Recovers and scores. So Marquis English, a non-stop Energizer bunny, as he now has 5 rebounds on the night and 18 points. Bell has the ball. Read and stolen away. A telegraphed attempt. Elkamil transition trifecta, leaves it short, but Knoll grabs the rebound. Dragons late getting back. Curtis comes up, and it looks like a kick ball. Austin will check in for the Purple Dragons. It will remain DeSoto basketball. Curtis to sub out. Austin comes in, and for the first time tonight, Joseph Schneiders will enter the contest for DeSoto, replacing Bell. Ball inbounded into the backcourt from Knoll to Bell. Bell across the prime meridian finds Baruth. Baruth loses it. Austin there to defend. Far backside, and then Baruth with the most awkward, alley-oop, left-hand floater attempt. Elkamil is there to take it away. Elkamil stops. Right block. Rolfs wide open. Right wing three, no. And Rolfs, after starting the game 2 of 2 from deep, has now dropped to 2 of 6 from downtown. Left corner three, slotted away. Waffle boarded by English. 42-17 the score. Dragons lead by 25 with 36 left in the half. Make sure to stick around for the halftime show. We'll go over first half statistics as well as a look into the second half of play. Austin defending Knoll. Good defense all around. Rolfs reads it, steals it. Austin on the break, pushes it in front of him, tries to go with a right-left movement with his feet to try to generate some space on the lay-in. Has Elkamil behind him. Elkamil loses it off the shoe of Austin now, and out of bounds it goes. My goodness, frantic paces from both sides, and the execution has been porous. .15 left in the half. 42-17 is the score. Jab step, spinning. Barkemeyer at the apex of the arc. With it is Schneider, who finds Jackson, and Jackson is fouled on the floor. 18 foul committed by the Dragons, and a 1-and-1 for Jackson with just 5.1 seconds left in the first half. That is the second on Elkamil. Jackson, his free throw, skips off the lip of the iron, smooches the flank, and then goes through. Jackson takes his time, methodical approach as he goes 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. Ball inbounded. Austin, Rolfs, Elkamil, 2 seconds. He needs to get it off. Goes up and does not shoot. Even if the shot went in, the clock expired. So at halftime, a bit more of a competitive context than it initially was. After one quarter, it was 25-5. Now 42-19. A good turnaround by DeSoto, but still a 23-point margin in favor of the hometown Dragons. We'll be back in 2 minutes with your halftime report, first half statistics, potentially an interview with Pittsburg High School girls basketball coach Chris Krotz, and a look into the second half of play. You're listening to the home of Purple Dragon Athletics on ESPN 100.7.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured,
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you become part of something more.
We're a family of crimson and gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out.
Without standing apart.
You belong.
At Pittsburg State University.
What do you want from your bank?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? There is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union with locations in Pittsburg, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville, serving area residents since 1949.
Headquartered in Richmond, Kansas, QSI Quality Structures Incorporated specializes in designing and building complete post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether you need a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built design, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI. Everything we do is right on cue.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
LandlordBeachCamps.com.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
Well, we welcome you back to a rambunctious crowd inside of Pittsburg High School following the dance team's performance. Everyone was quite riveted, as are the Dragons players. 42-19 lead over the DeSoto Wildcats at home. Kylie Rolfs and his crew seeking their 9th victory of the season, but we still have a whole half to go. Alongside Caleb Wood now is our ESPN 100.7.com live stream camera operator Shelby White back at our KSHQ studio. Cam Molina with you. 42-19 at intermission. Let's go through the first half stats, beginning with the Dragons. 8 points for Chase Curtis, including 5 boards. He shot 4 or 5 from the charity stripe. Isaac Leverage, 4 points in the contest, but he was ejected as he and Grant Knoll were tangled up. Words were said, each other shoved, and not very sportsmanlike to say the least between the two. So a double technical ensued and both were tossed out of the game, but Leverage, if we are to quantify it as such, I don't think either player won, but in terms of the scoring column, Leverage got the better of Grant. That's only by a +2 margin. 8 points for Drew Rolls on 2 of 6 shooting from downtown, 1 of 1 from the floor, 3 of 7 overall. Calvin Elkamil has 2 points and a rebound. He started off strong, knocking down a pair of free throws to start the game, but has missed a 3-pointer and 2 shots inside the horseshoe. But it's been Marquis English in what has been a very economic performance, as he has 18 points, 8 of 8 shooting inside of the horseshoe, 5 rebounds. And then Trenton Austin, who's playing for Jarek Butcher, who I think is ill. Coach Wolf's never mentioned it to me during our conversation prior to today, but is not playing. But Trenton Austin, 2 points, 2 rebounds. The Dragons, speaking of which, in the rebound column, winning +10 against DeSoto following Grant's departure. Levi Hansen, the leading scorer for DeSoto, with 6 points and a rebound. Jared Baruth with 2 points, 3 points for Brandon Bell, as he's 1-1 from deep. Tyler Barkemeyer with 2 points, and then Grant Knoll with 2 points. Jackson with 2 and 2 with 5 seconds left from the free throw line. With 5 seconds left in the first half. Barnhart with 2 points and a rebound by Knoll. Wyatt Knoll, the younger brother of Grant Knoll. And again, at intermission, it is 42-19, Dragons lead. Right now, a half-court shooting contest is being held by Pittsburg High School, and Jeff Staley, AD for the Dragons, does a great job emceeing it. Hopefully one day he'll be at the MIAA tournament. I could see him doing that. Really hyping up everybody. Let's go and take a look at our keys to the second half of the action. Beginning with the Dragons. It's continued to run your half-court sets. The Dragons have done a fantastic job of running that high-low look, and what also Coach Wolf calls strongs, which is typically either an isolation left or right side of the post. So in past experiences, El Camille or Butcher has been able to gain separation, follow a couple interchanging plays. He'll get to the left wing. English and Curtis so strong that when they're on that block and they can muscle their way in front of their defender, it's almost a 1-on-1. And El Camille possesses a great repertoire of moves in that low post. So the ability for him to catch where he's comfortable and to go with an up and under, a shimmy, a fake, a fade away, a step back is all in the works for him at that time. And as for Curtis in that situation, just powering his way to the rim, but also it gives the liberty to the front court players to look for cutters. And in the years past, the Dragons have done a great job looking for those cuts, including this season. Gavin El Camille, Javon Gray, to name a few guards who are doing a fantastic job anticipating their defenders and cutting off of them and finding crevices to catch the ball and score. As for this DeSoto team, the defensive intensity needs to pick up. They need to limit the transition opportunities and also low post. It's easier said than done, but try to limit that. There hasn't been a lot of double teams on English, but I would toy with the idea if I was Coach Rice at this point. And again, I'm not a coach. This is a media member saying something about a basketball game. Nothing's gospel, but from what I've seen thus far, English has 18, Curtis has 8. That's 26 combined points. You might as well let Rolfs or El Camille shoot some outside jump shots to play more into your defensive scheme instead of letting the two big men catch in favorable positions and scoring. And with that, we will take a 2-minute commercial break, hopefully be joined by Pittsburg High School girls basketball coach Chris Krotz, and we'll do some more insight into the second half of play. You're listening to the home of Purple Dragon Athletics on ESPN 100.7.
When the lights come up on Friday and Saturday nights at high schools and colleges across the region, it's often on a field built by Crossland Construction. Many Crossland employees played on those fields and were educated in the schools that are thriving parts of our communities today. Crossland is a proud supporter of area athletics and urges you to be a part of your local school community. Many of the athletes playing today may help Crossland build across our region in the future. Check out career opportunities at crossland.com. Crossland Construction, build you.
If you want to improve your basketball skill set, you need to attend one of the Lane Lord basketball camps. Each camper receives individual attention and specific coaching adapted to age and skill level. There's something for everyone. A grade school camp for girls entering 3rd through 8th grade, a high school team camp available on 2 different weekends with both varsity and JV levels of competition, plus satellite camps throughout the summer. All campers receive instruction from head coach Lane Lord, head assistant Amanda David, along with former and current players. For more information, visit them online at LaneLordBballCamps.com. Coach Lord and Coach David have seen tremendous success over the past several years, and they begin their recruiting at these camps, with over 20 former campers being signed. Visit LaneLordBballCamps.com.
At Lindbergh Pharmacy, we care about your health. From a qualified and caring staff to services like our Time My Meds and MedPack programs, Lindbergh Pharmacy provides personalized service you can count on. Refill prescriptions online at lindberghpharmacy.com or on your smartphone with our free Lindbergh Pharmacy mobile app. You can also sign up for our text alert program and we'll text or email you when your prescription is ready. Can't make it to us? We'll deliver your medications right to your door. Lindbergh Pharmacy, now 2 locations to serve you.
Does your current checking account pay you up to $15 per month? With Common Sense Checking at University Bank, you can earn up to $15 per statement cycle, 10 cents for each swipe after the first 15 swipes. Qualifying is so easy. Simply have 1 direct deposit or auto payment plus 15 debit card purchases each statement cycle and a $100 opening deposit. Stop by the bank for more information about our Common Sense Checking. Then swipe and save. It's convenience that pays at University Bank. Branch GMB. Member FDIC.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
And we welcome you back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. Shelby White back at our KSHQ studio alongside Caleb with now Cam Molina with you. Coach Kratz is unavailable at this time, so we will continue with our halftime report. About 3:15 remaining before the beginning of the second half. Let's go ahead and take a gander at the future of the Purple Dragons. How about Tuesday at home against Coffeyville? And what will be an SEK tilt, there will be only one more non-conference game. It will be a boys-only contest. The girls had this exact same game, and that's why it's kind of juxtaposed against Joplin High School. The Eagles will travel to Pittsburgh on February the 20th. But prior to then, it will be Coffeyville, Independence in a league contest, Parsons at home on senior night, and then homecoming right after. So 2 weeks from Tuesday on the 6th, and then that Friday on the 9th, Parsons and Chanute will be a big week. Parsons knocking the Dragons down a few pegs, if you will, earlier on this year in a 3-point victory at their house, and the Dragons will try to exact the revenge. Chanute with Kimberlin at that point guard position. That is a talented team. Fort Scott, another club the Dragons had an easy time handling. That doesn't mean that in the span of about 3 weeks this team could not have improved. You know, for Fort Scott, they could really come out and show the Dragons something on their home court. In Azure-Labette County, that was another game Pittsburgh won. They will play in that league tilt, and that will be also at Pittsburgh High School. And then the final game of the regular season will be against Coffeyville on February 23rd. So about 45-minute hour drive from Pittsburgh, just slightly west. And then sub-state action will begin. One question I posed to Coach Rolfs was that, you know, this is a potential sub-state matchup. I know it was for the girls. Last year, not so much for the boys, but still DeSoto could go on a run and put themselves in a position to play a great team like Pittsburgh. And Coach Rolfs said, we're worried about the DeSoto of now. We're not worried about the DeSoto of tomorrow. We're not worried about the DeSoto of 3 weeks from now, or 4 weeks from now, or 5 weeks from now, etc., etc. And Coach Rolfs and his uncanny ability to have blinders on really speaks volumes, because speaking with many other coaches, they're focused on now, and I understand that, but they're also preparing for the future. But Coach Rolfs, every time, has pushed the envelope and pushed the theme that my team is prepped for this game, not tomorrow's game, but for the game at hand. And the Dragons show it. Their execution has been very reliable throughout the season. They've had lapses, as many teams do. They've had their growing pains, as all teams do. But what they've done well is they've trusted in one another, and they've trusted in their coach, who has brought to them a system where they've flourished in. This is not a team with budding talent. It's a team that is talented. And DeSoto will come out and try to wreak havoc in this second half, trailing by 23. An inbound from Barkermeyer, far sideline, with Baruth in the backcourt with athletic wraps underneath his knees as the band section holding on to a tune for the last 3 seconds. Poetic. The Northwest Missouri State University Bearcats, it's DeSoto, but same colored uniforms, will go from right to left on your dial. Left corner with it is Bell. Beautiful chest pass to an open Barkmar, but read by Elkamil as he tried to flip it back out to the right wing. Elkamil stops on said right wing towards the opposite end, double clutches, tosses it up with the right hand, and Elkamil is at his best when he's aggressive. That in and out move, the hesitation to draw Bell in, and then take him off his left hip, and then force the defense to collapse on him is picturesque. Elkamil to the stripe, who will stagger his feet right in front of left. Elkamil, his first shot drops. Elkamil gives a high five to Rolfs, who crashes down from about the midcourt line to the free throw line. Elkamil takes one dribble, situates the ball at his waist level, and scores. He's 4-4 from the stripe, 4 points in this ball game. All points have come from the line. Baruth dribbles, has Rolfs on his left hip, now reverses left wing, looking to force the ball right wing. Is an open Bell to Hansen. Hansen penetrates, but then scoops it out to Baruth, who goes with a double clutch right-hand shoulder shot, too strong. Rebound by English, his 6th of the night. English looks low for curling Austin, and Austin is able to score his first field goal of the competition. He has 4 points and 2 rebounds. Across the timeline goes Baruth. Brings the ball waist level before kicking it out right corner. Bell's three, silky smooth. Glimpses of Raja Bell, former Phoenix Sun. Bell is able to purloin the basketball away from Rolls before swinging it left wing, looking to dart it away as Hansen. He has a defender on his right side, and Elkamil marking him tightly. No airspace for Hansen. Chest pass, right short corner 2, goes up and down, and Barkmeyer is able to score his second field goal of the contest. 46-24 is the score. Dragons lead it by 22. The most noticeable statistic, and I think Coach Rolls would agree, is that of rebounding. 14-3, a plus 11 advantage for the Dragons. Rolf sets a down ball screen from the right elbow to the right block on the near side end of the court. Curtis left wing to English, about 2 steps away from the top of the left elbow. Has Austin good, really high post, low post look. So Trenton Austin has now gone 2 of 2 from the field in this third quarter. Back up to a 24-point lead. Good defense by the Dragons. Curtis closes out on the lanky Barnhart. Straightaway 3 by Bell, and my goodness, scorching the bottom of the nylon. So Brandon Bell 3 of 3 from downtown, and a pretty stroke. +1 advantage for DeSoto and makes. English catches at the apex/crown of the arc, rips through to the left elbow to Rolfs, left wing to English again, and English is able to respond with a trifecta of his own. Baruth dribbles with his non-dominant hand, then crosses over to his dominant hand, oscillating the basketball with his right. 5:45 left in the third, turned around by Barnhart. It was a good look, and the wiry, nearly emaciated-like Barnhart was almost able to convert. Attacking, Elkamil goes to the left elbow, 1-2 steps, and the beautiful move to the rim. So Elkamil is able to convert his first field goal of the night. He has 6 points. Bad look by Baruth to Hansen, who was flashing from underneath the basket to the top of the arc. 53-27 is the score. Dragons lead it currently. 5:16 left in the third. Stagger screen set between Austin and Curtis. Left wing head fake by Rolfs. He pulls up left short corner and drills it. Rolfs 2 of 2 from inside the horseshoe, 4 of 8 overall. Head fake shown by Baruth as he tries to induce a jump from Rolfs. Bell gets it left wing from Baruth, right back to Baruth. Right short corner, tries to force it up, no. English making his way towards a double-double, 21 points, 7 rebounds. Left wing, Rolfs again tries to deke out the defender. Elkamil left wing, that one saucers out. Austin on the backside, ball poked loose the first time. His second offering, no. Third offering goes up. That's a man amongst boys. Trenton Austin puts the Dragons up 30, 57-27. 3 consecutive rebounds. That puts him at 5 for the night. 57-27 is the score. Jackson, as well as Millman, will sub in. Barnhart goes to the bench, flanked by Baruth. Austin, 2 of 6 from the stripe thus far, on a 12 for 14 team effort from the stripe. Austin now drops to 2 of 7 in a lane violation. And Austin will receive another opportunity, so he puts it right back on the tee. We'll call that one a mulligan. Austin holsters the ball left hip, takes 2 dribbles in front of his purple shoe, sets waist level, brings the ball to his forehead, free throw goes. So now he is 3 of 8 on the night with 9 points and 5 rebounds. Jerk Butcher out, and Austin starting this contest. Elkamil fouling as he was trailing the dribbling Millman. That is Elkamil's third. First team foul in this second half by the Dragons. We are 3.5 minutes in to this third, and another foul. I think Rolfs was defending Hanson well enough, and then Hanson, no, it was on Xavier Jackson. I thought it was Hanson who did use his left arm to gain some separation, but the manufacturing of space was not enough to warrant the foul. Elkamil rolls, and a foul again. And Coach Rice squeaking at his team. And that is on Jackson, the foul, his second. Elkamil, far side, sideline inbound as he lobs it over the head of Bell to Rolfs. Rolfs dribbles with his left hand, shoots a pass over right wing. With it, English, head fake, spikes a pass over to an open Austin. High ball screen set by Austin. He'll trickle down to the right block. Elkamil trying to craft an offensive sequence, lobs a shot up and draws the foul. Elkamil, I talked about what he does that makes him so good, and that's attacking the basket. But in addition, the creativity inside the lane and the ability to instinctually know when to clutch the basketball and just to go straight up through traffic. There are players who will just clutch the basketball every time and will be swatted and will miss their shot because they just put too much on it. The only time you want to clutch is when you know the defender's on your hip and someone's coming on help. And if you double clutch and they run into you, that's when the foul comes. You want to try to induce or invoke that player to bring their hand down and foul you. 58-27 the score as the free throws were not good. Hanson dribbles to the right ring and a foul. And I think it's on Elkamil. If it is, it's his fourth. It is. So Elkamil will sub out. Javon Grant comes in. So Javon Grant comes in for the Dragons, and Baruth back in for DeSoto. Baruth, with his high knee Nike socks, tries to force a pass right. It's read by Curtis. He has a little bit of room, goes up, almost dunked it. The entire Dragons bench were on their feet. My goodness. All popped up at once to celebrate because Chase Curtis is a pretty reserved guy. He's a guy that, again, is a high-energy guy on the floor, but fairly reserved, doesn't really talk trash and tries to keep his teammates involved. But in that situation, he was trying to go for the flaunting dunk. Head fake by Hanson. Three-pointer straight away, and Baruth is able to drill it. DeSoto, a good three-point shooting team, 500 on the year at 6-6. In this contest from deep, 4 of 6 from downtown. Grant wraparound pass read by Jackson, and Javon Grant was far too transparent with that move and telegraphed where he was going to go with the right wing. Head fake, then a three. Stepping into it, Baruth goes back-to-back. Where's DJ Khaled at? Now 5 of 7 from downtown. 60-33 the score. Under 3 to go in the third. English crosses over the high post, goes up, left-handed foul, +1. Just added to his tab en route to 23 points on the night. English, 9 of 9 from the floor. 10 of 10 from the floor, but he's 9 of 9 from inside the horseshoe. Kafka will come in for Curtis as he and Kafka share a smile. I think Kafka was giving him a little bit of guff about that dunk attempt. English on the end one as he sets, waist level, flicks, does not score. Strong rebound by Millman as he flares the elbows out and has Baruth. Bounce pass right corner, Hanson loses it, and it's stolen away by Austin, who tries to force feed a pass to Grant. Austin then tries to push it ahead of him, a la James Harden. It's loose. English slaps it backwards as Baruth tried to skip it in transition from the backcourt to the front corner. My goodness, how frenetic is this? Left corner, wide open. Barkemeyer, short. Baruth has it, double clutches, leaves it short, and a foul. And that's a foul committed by Austin. His first and the team's third. A 29-point lead by the Dragons. They've led by 30. So Baruth goes to the charity stripe with 8 points under his belt, 3 of 3 from the floor. First free throw, no.
In the game for DeSoto, number 21, Jackson Miller.
So Jackson Miller will get his first minutes or potentially seconds of the night for DeSoto as he will come in, I believe, for Bell, and he does. And the second free throw goes up and does not go in. Rebound by Austin. Austin pushes it in transition to Rolfs, who darts a pass over to English. English tries to force feed a shot through the bottom of the net. That does not go. So English, his first miss from inside the horseshoe, now drops to 9-10. Baruth, transition left wing. Kafka with the board. Kafka scans on the break, pushes it. Rolfs thought about stepping into a three. He was primed to do so. English, head fake, rips from left to right, left wing, up fake by Kafka again. Austin loses it. The ball's jarred loose. Scrum on the floor. Ball is excavated by Baruth. It's a 2-on-1. Barkemeyer goes up, draws no foul. Wow, that's surprising. Rolfs finds Austin, power dribble, goes up, and that one is a foul. Coach Rice, I think, has a reason to be questionable. I'm not going to say criticize, but he has a reason to question that call because Barkemeyer was filleted. He was absolutely diced going to the rim. 62-34 the score. The first offering up. Anna swirls out for Trenton Austin. So the Dragons ready to bring in Chase Curtis as Austin with $140 left in the third, trying to put his team up 29 instead of 28. Austin sets, flicks, good. Austin will come out, Curtis comes in, and the Dragons on the night, 12 of 16 from the stripe. Timeout by Coach Rolfs. $140 left in the third. 63-34 the score. Dragons up 29, and we are back on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7 and 30 ticks.
I had no idea you did that.
That's what I said when I learned CDL does more than just electrical work. Like plumbing, heat and air, security cameras and alarms, generators, solar panels, even signs for my business. CDL really is one company that has a solution for about everything in my home and business. Learn more at cdlsolution.com.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
1:38 left in the third. This is pretty much a foregone conclusion. 29-point lead for the Dragons, and it will most likely stay this score, barring a miracle run by DeSoto. They have some three-point shooters. They've shot 5 of 7 from deep, but turnovers like that from Bell to Baruth, who was doing some DDR stuff on the hardwood, is not going to sort this issue out. Elkamil, who has 4 fouls, will enter for Rolfs. And it looks like Dalton Gromer is now marching to the scorer's table, and he will come in for Marquis English. And Gromer is met with cheers from the student section. We're all dressed up for fraternity night, I believe, as everybody's wearing dress shirts and some khaki shorts. And Curtis sets a ball screen at midcourt. That prompts a falling DeSoto player to come up limping. Baruth tracks down the transition three, or rather tracks down the rebound after the transition three by Javon Grant, and then a turnover. Now it looks like a Dragon touched the basketball last, so it will be DeSoto Rock. 1:08 left in the third. Bell gets it in. Baruth catches. Right short corner. Penetrates inside the lane and is fouled. Gromer late on the rotation. And Curtis talking to Gromer now about what needs to change from here on out if he's going to play some minutes here in this contest. 14th foul committed by the Dragons in the first on Gromer. 2 dribbles by Baruth. He'll set near his waistline and shoot and score. Baruth shooting his 3rd and 4th attempts of the night. He's now 2 of 3 and can go 3 of 4 right here. Bingo. 11 points for Baruth. He leads all scorers on the DeSoto side. Excuse me, I beg your pardon. Scoop back from Curtis to Elkamil. Right over before he delivers a dart to Kafka. Kafka whips it to Gromer, who mishandles it. And that's why he's on the defensive line. 63-36 the score. 54 ticks left in the third. Baruth. 4 screen Clyde and DeSoto players trying to initiate their offensive set. Crossover Jackson, a quick crossover defended by Gromer. Mismatch there. Bell has it. Tries to whip it to Baruth. Again, another ill-advised pass that was nearly thrown away, and Grant fouls on the floor. The third, and they're calling it on Grant. Did they just call a technical on Grant? Grant never said anything. His palms were up, and the official is now conferring with the referee, I think. I don't understand if it is a technical. I know it's a foul on Grant for the hand check. Wow, and they're going to technical, too. A tech committed by Grant, and Grant has no idea what he did. Coach Rolfs, I don't know if he wants an explanation, but that's the technical committed by the Dragons tonight. And Curtis went over to Coach Rolfs and said he never said anything, and now Coach Rolfs is talking with the referee. I don't know what the official saw. You know, it's not proper of me as an announcer to criticize officials on air, but that one is a bit questionable. Baruth, deuce a deuce from the stripe, as everything will move right along. 13 points now for Baruth, 35 ticks to go in the third, 63-38 is the score. Backcourt, Baruth with it. His gray basketball shoes squeaking against the hardwood. Kafka keeps the ball in play as he's able to purloin it, and a foul from behind. I think Baruth or Miller bumped into Kafka. That's the 17th foul, though, and it is on Baruth. That is Baruth's second. So to the line goes Kafka for 1-1. Very awkward free throw form, but the first one goes. He has his legs perpendicular to the free throw line with his right in front of left, his right foot towing it. He bends his knees in together, almost intrusive, and then springs up. Regardless, Kafka goes 2-2 following the foul. Baruth, chest pass to Bell. Bell brings a waist level jab, steps right with his gum sole squeaking against the hardwood. 12 seconds left in the third. Skip past Miller, wide open. Bell springs up, three, swishes it home. 5 seconds left in the third. Curtis gets it in. Elkamil doesn't see the clock, and that's it. So after 3 quarters of play, 65-41 is the score. The Dragons lead it. We head to the fourth quarter of play here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. We are back at 30 ticks.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you. Let our skilled providers treat your non-life-threatening illness or injury at a fraction of the time and cost of an ER visit. Located at the corner of Centennial and Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons, open 7 days a week for your convenience. SEK Urgent Care, where your family and time matter. Find us fast in names and numbers.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
Soft. You guys are soft. That is what Coach Rolf said in the second quarter as the DeSoto Wildcats went on a 10-6 run. Since then, the Dragons have dominated, posting a solid third quarter of play as they put up 23 points. And the score right now is 65-41 as we head to the fourth quarter of action from inside Pittsburg High School. The Dragons seeking their 9th victory on the year, and they lead by 24. So, again, I said it midway through the third, barring any sort of miracle by DeSoto, the Dragons will have their 9th victory of the year, and we'll await Coffeyville. Alongside Caleb Wood now, our camera operator for our live stream at ESPN100.7.com. Shelby White back in our KSHQ studio. Cam Molina with you. Let's begin the fourth. Rolf's right wing brings the ball above his head before he cocks it behind his head. He finds Curtis with the chest pass. Over to Elkamil, right back to Rolf. Side ball screen set by Curtis. Good defense by DeSoto. Closing out in the right corner against Curtis is Barnhart as English catches. Defended well by a harassing Millman who has 3 fouls. Javon Grant puts the ball left hit. He had a technical last corner. Crosses over from right to left in between his legs. Try to go with a slinging pass. No look to the far side corner. English catches. Stepping into a 3. Wide open is Rolfs. Swacks it in. And that was about as easy of a 3-point shot as you can get from 19.9 feet away. Jab step in front of Rolfs. Some good footwork shown by Bell. And exhibiting his length is Barnhart as he whips it back over to Millman. 3-pointer by Hanson. He can't respond. English tracks down the loose ball. He's one-on-one. Goes to the Euro step and he's fouled, and a good foul by Bell. And if a coach tells you in practice, we're going to practice fouling, it's going to be with the idea of you wrap up that guy so they can't score. You grab his arms, you grab his legs. Doesn't mean fling him down to the ground, but grab his arms, grab his legs, so he's unable to put up a Hail Mary or anything of the sort and try to convert. So English will go to the free throw line, shooting a pair. He hits his first. 69-41 is the score. 470 points right here, and English hits it. English 4 of 5 from the stripe. The Dragons 16-20. 25 points for English, and another turnover by Soto. Rolfs lobs it over the head of the defending Hansen. Grant goes off the dribble in front of Baruth, and Baruth fouls his third. 10 team fouls committed by Soto. And Grant goes to the free throw line, shooting 2 shots. Javon Grant, a precocious young point guard. He's learning the ins and outs of the high school level, but his speed is probably the best, if not one of the best on the team. He has a good three-point jump shot and is an intense defender. So a lot to like from the young man, and that's why he's been getting minutes as he goes 1 of 2 from the stripe. Right wing, Bell steps into a 3. He continues his streak of excellence from downtown. How about 5 of 5 for Brandon Bell? In transition, and now it's answered back with an and one by Javon Grant. So the freshman with a powerful move, and we were just talking about him. And Grant goes to the free throw line, shooting his third shot from the charity stripe on the night. Grant does not convert. Yes, he does. I lied. The ball was teetering on the lip of the iron and then leaned back in. 73-44 the score. Now we have a running clock as the official comes to the scores table. 74-44, excuse me, after that free throw went in. 30-point contest in the fourth quarter of play, so running clock is initiated. Right wing Hansen, jabs left, defended by Dalton Gromer. Double clutch by Hansen, foul and one. I think Gromer just too slow to keep up with some of these faster guards. 8 points for Levi Hansen, and this will be his first free throw opportunity as Jackson comes in. Barnhart will sub out, wearing some sports glasses, not goggles, but sports glasses. Not Kurt Rambis-like, but more Amari Stoudemire-like. Hansen, good, as he converts the and one from the free throw line. Crossover right to left. Austin, chest pass, left wing. Kapka trying to flash his way past the defending Hansen. Tries to go with an awkward in between the legs dribble. He loses it. Dalton Gromer there. Skips it. Austin, power dribble. Goes behind the back. No look past to Curtis. That would have been a highlight reel play if not for a stingy DeSoto bunch as Barkemeyer as well as Baruth were there to slap it away. Kapka to inbound. As he prospects, he has Curtis near side corner. And Austin goes up, loses his handle on it. Kapka has his first attempt blocked following the loose ball, and then he's fouled on his way up. Brett Weimers and Peyton Cantrell set to come in for the Dragons. Third foul committed by Barkemeyer. Kapka's first goes.
And against Pittsburg, number 12.
Kapka now 3 of 3. And Austin and Curtis, their night is done. Great performances from both. Combined 20 points, 10 rebounds. Kapka sets, brings the ball below his waist, springs up and scores. And typically you'll see left-hand shooters bring their knees in. Again, that's akin to James Harden as there's a foul on the floor. That's the 8th committed by the Dragons and the 3rd on Dalton Gromer, so free throws for Hansen. But for left-hand shooters, they typically bring in their knees together to get that extra spring and that extra lift because it's awkward, even as a predominant left-hand shooter, to shoot like a right-handed person, to spring up and have the ball centered in front of your face. So that knees that are bowed in makes it a bit easier and more comfortable. So Kapka, as a right-handed shooter doing that, is a bit odd. 3:10 left in the fourth. 76-47 is the score. Hansen takes 2 dribbles, spins the ball at his waist level, and the sphere is brought up to his nose, and he flicks and scores. Miller will come in for DeSoto following this second free throw if it is converted. Hanson, yes.
In for Soto, number 21, Jackson Miller.
So Miller will come in, and going to the bench is Hanson, and I would fathom his night is done. There will be another DeSoto player coming in, and Evan Sorrow, I believe, for this Wildcat team. I actually spoke with their assistant coach earlier before the broadcast, and I asked him about the player pronunciations, and Eric Bell goes, I don't think you'll need to know Sorrow's last name. And again, I'm kind of guessing, so pardon me if I'm butchering the pronunciation, but he said you probably won't see him tonight, and when you know it. Miller loses it, brings the ball to his right hip as he recovers, but Kafka's there. Peyton Cantrell fights through traffic, goes with an inside right-hand floater that glances off the window, and the ball is snagged by Baruth. His second rebound on the night. Cantrell's first miss and a foul on the floor, and a lot of fouls here as of late. So Cantrell fouls. 19 foul committed by the Dragons. Barnhart to sub in. Barnhart does come in. And
have a full timeout DeSoto for substitution.
So a timeout used by Coach Rice to bring out some players and sub in another one or two.
At line number 15, Jared Baruch.
So I don't know, actually, no. There was no timeout. It was just a substitution deal. Sorrow came in, and he was not supposed to come in. Free throw missed by Baruch. Tracked down by a curling, cutting, fighting, nail-biting Miller. Delivers a bounce pass that trickles out of bounds. So Sorrow comes in. Noel is set to inbound near side sideline in front of the scores table with 1:15 to go. Make sure to stick around for the post-game report. Final statistics interview with Pittsburg High School boys basketball coach Kylie Rolfson. A look into next week. Peyton Cantrell on the break, springs up, tries to go with a two-hand flush, but it pops out. Coach Rolfs shrieking at his guys to get back. Noel picks up his dribble, right short corner, Barnhart right corner before he delivers a lame duck pass, right wing, but right back to Barnhart from a delivering Schneider's. Ball stolen away. Javon Grant goes into the defender and scores. Great look by Javon Grant. And he's had some pretty intricate finishes tonight. 78-49 the score. Dragons lead it. High ball screen feinted by Sorrow. Spinning away Miller. Pass fake. He brings the ball just below his navel. Bounce pass back outside to Schneider's. And again, it's Javon Grant who forces the turnover. And Grant will just wind down the clock. And defense is still there. I don't think Miller's going to lay off defending Grant. So no 5 seconds being called by the officials. And everyone's just going to let the clock wind down. Final score, the Dragons earned their 9th victory of the year, 78-49. And there are the screaming Purple Dragon fans who are just as exhilarated as Coach Rolfs. And with that exhilaration comes that fleeting sensation. They're looking forward to next Tuesday now against Coffeyville at home, and we'll hear more about it from Coach Rolfs following a 2-minute commercial break here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you become part of something more.
We're a family of Crimson and Gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out.
Without standing apart.
You belong.
At Pittsburg State University.
What do you want from your bank?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? There is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union with locations in Pittsburg, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville, serving area residents since 1949.
Headquartered in Richmond, Kansas, QSI Quality Structures Incorporated specializes in designing and building complete post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether you need a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built design, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI. Everything we do is right on cue.
You can also sign up for our text alert program and we'll text or email you when your prescription is ready. Can't make it to us? We'll deliver your medications right to your door. Lindbergh Pharmacy, now 2 locations to serve you.
Let's go back live courtside.
Just as the bumper said, we welcome you back courtside for the last time tonight here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. Final score, the Pittsburg High School boys basketball team advances to 9-3 on the year following a victory against the DeSoto Wildcats. Let's go ahead and go over the final statistics as we begin with Pittsburg High School. 10 points scored by Chase Curtis, including 5 rebounds. He and another front court mate that we will get into, not named Marquis English, each had identical nights. 4 points for Alex Kavka off the bench, 6 from Javon Grant, 4 from Isaac Leverance, 13 from Drew Rolfs, 6 for Gavin Elkamill, including a rebound, 25 points for Marquis English, and then 10 points for Trenton Austin and 5 rebounds on the start tonight as Jarek Butcher was out. In addition, we look at DeSoto. Their top 3 players listed numerically all went into double figures. 11 points for Hanson, Baruth with 13, and Bell to lead all DeSoto scores as he shot 5 of 5 from downtown. DeSoto 7 of 9 overall from deep. 1 rebound for Hanson as well, 2 for Baruth, 1 rebound for Millman, and then 1 rebound for Knoll. 4 points for Tyler Barkemeyer, 2 for Grant Knoll, 2 for Jackson, and 2 for Barnhart. The Dragons win the rebounding battle 19-5. So a great effort by the Dragons in that regard. The 3-point shooting, they were -3 from behind the arc. They were 4 of 10 compared to the 7 of 9 that DeSoto shot. And in addition, looking at the free throw comparison, 20 of 25 from the Dragons, an 80% mark. And for those of you who have been keeping up with Dragon basketball throughout most of the season, Chase Curtis struggled mightily to begin the season from the free throw line, but he has really funneled his efforts into improving at the line, and he did that and exhibited that tonight as he went 4 of 5 from the stripe. Trenton Austin went 4 of 10. Marquis English went 4 of 5. Gavin Elkamill 4 of 6. Isaac Leverance went 2 of 2. Grant went 2 of 3. And Alex Kapka went 4 of 4. Still waiting on Coach Rolf, so we will keep it here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. The Dragons will be at home this upcoming Tuesday, January the 30th, against the stingy Coffeyville team. Parsons playing them recently and finding success on both sides of the ball. I spoke with Coach Hauk on the boys' side of Parsons earlier this week, and he said Coffeyville gave his team a run for their money. I mean, that's a young team in Parsons, granted, but they're a top 10 team in the Class 4A D2 classification in the state of Kansas. So for Coffeyville to only lose by 7 against that Parsons team, that speaks volumes. So if we're going to use that as a barometer, Pittsburg following the Parsons earlier in the year, albeit this is a changed Dragon team in my opinion, and now taking on Coffeyville, I expect a very fun contest next week. And on the girls' side, as we will go back over it, Chris Krotz's girls now 4-9 on the year. They will play at home, or rather will be at home versus Coffeyville on Tuesday, much like the boys, as they lost to Ryan Roby and his Wildcats in a 49-35 defeat, as Mountain Petty led all Dragons with 11 points in that contest. 22 points scored by Shoup for the Wildcats in that contest. And to look a little bit forward, I mentioned it, but just to reiterate, the biggest weeks of the season in terms of being a high schooler are upon a lot of the young players, as both senior night and homecoming will be on the same week. So Tuesday, February the 6th, that's in about a week's time from this point, we'll be home against Parsons for senior night, so that'll be a lot of fun. And then Chanute homecoming at home again. So 2 great SEK teams inside of Pittsburg High School for what is a senior night contest against Parson and a homecoming night contest against Chanute. You can't ask for too much more. You can find all your action here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. Coach Rolfe still in the locker room. We'll give him another 30, 40 seconds. But a quick plug-in at this point in time, and I do want to see if I am correct in this. Yes, tomorrow, Pittsburg State will travel to Tahlequah, Oklahoma to take on Northeastern State in an MIAA bout. You can catch that beginning at 12 p.m. for the pregame show. Tip-off is 12:30. And the Pittsburg State's women's team, 15-5 on the season thus far. The men, 12-8, just a game below 500 in conference play. And the women coming off a solid victory as of late to Central Oklahoma by 6, 71-65. They were the 16th ranked team in the country, so that bodes well for Coach Lord and company as they progress forward. And Coach Rolfe's talking with Jeff Staley, so we will cut it off with that as he's had a good night and deserves to stay away and shy away from media attention. So, final scores on both sides. Girls lose 49-35. Boys win 78-49 from Caleb Withnow, our camera operator who is filling in for Avi Sharma, doing a great job manning that device and the piece of equipment on our live stream at ESPN100.7.com. Shelby White back at our KSHQ studio. I'm Cam Molina. Have fun, be safe, and a special note, happy birthday, old man. Mike Molina turns 60-something. I don't know how old you are now. But either way, happy birthday. Love you. Appreciate you for supporting me. And thank you all for listening. Have fun, be safe, and tune in for Pitt State basketball tomorrow beginning at noon.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you.